Just a month ago, our main character was nothing but a complete loser. But now, with just a casual punch, he leaves a martial arts grandmaster completely shell-shocked. That is because this punch didn't just blow a monster to pieces. More importantly, this kind of overwhelming power is definitely not something some punk kid should have. And keep in mind, he had only stepped into the martial arts gym less than 5 minutes ago. While anyone else would take a whole month just to get the hang of basic breathing techniques, he mastered an even higher level in just 3 minutes. But what they don't know is that he is actually a transmigrator carrying a cheat system. As long as he keeps putting in the work, his stats will keep skyrocketing. The only catch? This system does absolutely nothing else besides leveling up his stats. That is, until he crosses paths with a talking black cat that loves to play victim. Turns out, the god of this world is dead, and his body has returned to nature. Any object stained with his divine blood has transformed into a holy relic, and by simply touching them, our guy can absorb their divinity and even gain the power of infinite resurrection. But go back just 1 month ago, and he was nothing but a complete loser. A freak accident got him transmigrated into this world, where he suddenly activated a system. From that point on, as long as he keeps working out, his stats will keep climbing without limit. Heck, just showing his face at school is enough to make girls swoon on the spot. And somehow, his looks just keep getting better and better. Right then, a tennis ball comes flying straight at him. But at that speed, he catches it with ease. Glancing over in the direction it came from, he instantly realizes the other guy did it on purpose. His best bro, Lika, runs over in a panic. Our guy casually asks if he knows the punks who threw the ball. Lika takes one look and nearly loses his mind. He instantly recognizes the guy as none other than the notorious school bully, Bui Hu Kwang. Figuring it must be payback for the girl from the other day, he begs our guy to find a girlfriend quickly to stay out of trouble. But our main character couldn't care less and heads off to hit the gym. Lika warns him that the bully is not someone to mess with, and that working out won't save him. Now, hitting the gym might not do much for regular people, but our guy is different. Ever since he transmigrated here with his system a month ago, he has been getting stronger day by day. As long as he trains a specific skill to a certain level, he can unlock a powerful special ability to match. But while this daily grind makes him incredibly strong, it also burns a massive amount of energy. When he opens his fridge, he finds it completely empty, leaving him with no choice but to head out for some groceries. To be honest, he isn't training like crazy just to show off. He knows he is currently living in the 5th outer ring of the city. While the inner city is incredibly wealthy, the outskirts are nothing but desolate, poverty-stricken ruins. With graduation just 6 months away, he has to give it everything he has got to secure a spot in the inner city. On his way home, a stray black cat suddenly darts out of a dark alley. Seeing the fresh cuts and bruises all over its body, he can tell it just lost a pretty nasty fight. But before he can even reach out to pet it, the poor thing collapses onto the pavement. Then, the black cat actually groans out loud, saying, "Man, I never knew the life of a stray could be so brutal." Hearing a cat speak fluent human language scares the absolute crap out of him. But as he kneels down to take a closer look, he notices a strange golden ring wrapped around its tail. The second his fingers brush against the ring, his system screen pops up, notifying him that it is scanning a relic containing high-density divinity. Over the past month, our guy has learned quite a bit about this world. 287 years ago, the god of this world kicked the bucket. On that fateful day, everyone on Earth witnessed the fall of God. Since then, a popular saying has taken root: the gods are dead, humanity stands alone. And our main character's goal? To use this world to ascend and become a new god himself. After bringing the black cat back to his place, he pours a bowl of dry cat food for it. But the cat just stares at the kibble with pure disgust. Remembering how it talked earlier, he realizes this creature is definitely not a normal cat. With that in mind, he heads into the kitchen, heats up a pan, and starts whipping up some real food. Instantly, his cooking stats begin to soar. Before long, a mouth-watering dish is served hot and fresh. The moment the cat catches a whiff of the aroma, it starts drooling and completely throws all its dignity out the window, stuffing its face like crazy. Seeing this, he knows his theory was spot on. This cat is likely a human who got transformed, and the culprit is probably that golden ring on its tail. Before he can think any further, the system pops up with a notification that the absorption is complete, asking if he wants to activate a new skill called Twin Soul. He doesn't hesitate for a second and hits yes. A second later, a success message pops up and a single drop of water falls gently onto his palm. Opening his system panel, he reads the passive effect. It grants him 2 lives, allowing him to choose when to resurrect anytime within 7 days of his death. The cooldown is 3 had to divinity points, just to unlock by how absolutely broken this passive skill is, but upon closer inspection, he realizes it requires 500 divinity points just to unlock, which means his top priority right now is to keep leeching divinity from that little cat's golden ring. But looking closely, he noticed its body was covered in wounds. Draining its energy like this just felt too cruel. So he decided to hold off for a while and figure it out later, but he couldn't just let it go either. So the MC set up the security cameras at home and got ready to head out to search for clues about divinity, while also keeping an eye on what the cat would do home alone. The moment the MC closed the door, the black cat wiped the smile off its face. In this outer ring, getting into the inner city is extremely difficult. Even if you're lucky enough to make it in, the cost of living there is sky high. This would definitely bankrupt any newly rich folks from the outer ring. Yet so many people still desperately want to squeeze their way in. But what they don't know is that there's actually another way: becoming a martial artist. Before the MC could finish his thoughts, a bald guy blocked his path in a narrow alley. Looking up, the MC asked him, "Got a problem?" This punk said his boss had his eyes on a girl, but that very girl had given our MC a bottle of water this morning. But before he could even finish his sentence, it was like he got struck by something. It wasn't until the bald guy collapsed that the thugs around him finally realized what had happened. Just 1 second later, another thug was completely dazed. Within a short 3 seconds, all these punks lost consciousness right then and there. And the MC's weapons were nothing but ordinary pebbles, combined with his monstrous strength and his aiming skill. As his lackeys went down, the boss, Bui Hu Kuang, finally made his appearance. What's more, a faint wolf phantom hovered behind him. But under the MC's aiming skill, his bizarre movements were completely useless. With just a slight tilt of his body, the MC easily dodged the attack. Missing his target, Bui Hu Kuang flew past the MC and slammed his fist into the wall. This made the MC realize that this guy actually knew martial arts too. Seems like this was the source of his arrogance. At the moment, the MC was actually annoyed because he had no one to ask about martial arts. With that in mind, the MC turned around and walked right up to Bui Hu Kuang. This caught the guy completely off guard, right before he had a very intense friendly exchange with our MC. Shaking all over, Bui Hu Kuang finally stammered that he surrendered. The MC thought the guy was going to be some kind of badass, but after all that waiting, he only had that one single trick up his sleeve. This aiming skill didn't just drastically boost his dynamic vision, it also greatly improved the accuracy of his strikes. By simply targeting his opponent's incoming strike and punching the air right in front of the guy's chest, the MC shattered his technique while simultaneously awakening a new combat skill. Just like that, after a few quick rounds, Bui Hu Kuang was beaten so badly he couldn't even stand up. Standing over him, the MC asked what kind of technique those punches were. Bui Hu Kuang stammered, "It's not a technique. It's internal energy." Hearing this, the MC asked, "What's internal energy?" He explained that internal energy is about gathering the power from all your meridians and releasing it outward through your moves. Next, the MC asked how to train this and who to learn it from. Bui Hu Kuang said he couldn't even remember who he learned it from, whining that he was just a nobody. The MC grabbed him by the collar. A guy who usually runs wild at school, terrorizing and threatening people, now calling himself a nobody? Terrified out of his mind, he stammered that it was all lies, just rumors he made up to build a tough reputation. After hearing that, the MC gave him a good old slap to the face, then ordered him to write 10 apology letters at school tomorrow. Finally, the MC pulled out his phone and made him write down the address of his dojo. The MC wanted to go ask in person. Through fighting, all of his stats had been rapidly rising. Usually, grinding hard in the gym for 1 hour only raised his stats by 200, but just one real fight boosted him way past his normal training. More importantly, he even awakened a combat skill. Looks like he needs to pick more fights from now on. Following Google Maps, the MC arrived at the Kim Fong dojo. The moment he stepped inside, the receptionist gestured for him to keep quiet. The master was currently in the middle of a class. Peering inside, the MC saw several students sitting cross-legged on the mats. The white-haired old man at the front was lecturing on something called the breathing method. He explained that by breathing, one can activate the foundational power of internal energy. Only by filling your body with circulating qi can you be considered a true beginner. Hearing about this beginner technique, the MC's eyes lit up instantly. Wasn't this exactly what he needed? So the MC quietly asked the receptionist if he could try following along. As the MC got closer, the receptionist finally realized just how handsome he was. Blushing immediately, she stammered, "Sure, of course you can. Just don't push yourself too hard." Having received permission, the MC sat down cross-legged and began following the old man's instructions step by step. The old master finished explaining and instructed everyone to focus their minds on their breathing. The disciples all began inhaling deeply. Watching them, the receptionist silently cheered for them in her head. She hoped at least a few of them would show promise this time, or else the master might kick her out. Just 30 seconds into the test, and absolutely everyone is already at their limit. Even the star candidate, the receptionist, pinned all her hopes on, completely folds by the 35th second. Panicking as she sees the master walking over, she begs, "Master, please give me just a few more days. I promise I'll find the perfect recruit." But the old man ignores her entirely, walking right past her to stare intensely at Shui Jing, who is still drawing in massive breaths. At this moment, Shui Jing realizes that while this breathing technique seems simple, executing it is an absolute nightmare. With a massive rush of oxygen flooding the lungs, anyone without extreme lung capacity wouldn't even qualify to train. Fortunately, thanks to his boosted stats, Shui Jing manages to hang on, though the inner energy building up inside him feels like a ticking time bomb ready to explode. Finally, a system notification pops up, confirming he has unlocked the inner force skill, allowing him to finally stop inhaling. The moment he opens his eyes, the old man rushes over to ask how he feels, while the receptionist anxiously asks if he's in any pain. Instead of being in pain, Shui Jing actually feels incredibly refreshed and energized. Hearing this, the girl eagerly grabs his hands and asks for his name, begging him to join the Jinfeng dojo. Suddenly, a flash of red light streaks outside, and a dark shadow smashes through the window, right next to the trainees. As the dust clears, a monstrous insectoid beast stands before them, shocking everyone to their core, but the old man quickly snaps out of it and yells for the trainees to run. Sensing their move, the monster lunges instantly, targeting the receptionist who's closest to it. Luckily, Shui Jing acts fast, grabbing her and diving out of the way. Clinging to him, her heart hammers wildly, wishing she could stay in his arms forever, especially since saving her just netted Xu Jing 20 charm points. Glaring at the monster, Shui Jing recalls Pei Yu Guang's words. Inner force is all about gathering the energy in your meridians and unleashing it in a single strike. Now is the perfect chance to test it out. With a frenzied monster lunging at him mid-air, Shui Jing reacts on pure instinct, throwing a heavy punch. His strike packs so much raw power that the monster is stopped dead in its tracks. Shui Jing grits his teeth, wondering, is this thing like a cockroach? Can it actually withstand 300 times its own body weight? Making a split-second decision, he realizes if that's the case, he needs to concentrate all his power into a single point. Instantly, the system chimes. 1. Inch punch unlocked. Mastery at 80 out of 200. The massive insectoid is sent flying backward by Xu Jing's strike, sliding across the ground as its body literally begins to crack and shatter. Shui Jing casually brushes the dust off his shoulders, muttering, "Way weaker than I thought." Beside him, a girl watches in pure awe. "That was so cool," she squeals. But the master observes quietly, thinking, this kid just tapped into his inner energy for the first time. Releasing that much raw power at once is going to wreck his body. Suddenly, the beast refuses to stay down, slamming its legs into the ground and emitting a menacing, eerie sound. "You still want more?" Shui Jing asks, gesturing for it to bring it on. "I can do this all day." But without warning, the massive backflow of energy hits him like a truck. Coughing up blood, he gasps in shock. "What's happening to me?" Seizing the opening, the beast charges straight at Shui Jing, sending him into a panic. "Shoot, looks like I overdid it this time." Just as the monster is about to strike, a blinding flash of light cuts through the air, instantly obliterating the beast in the blink of an eye. Standing up in utter confusion, Xu Jing wonders what just happened, until a woman steps forward and announces, "White Fang Squad, Captain of Squad 838, Xu Ren. We're taking over this scene. Non-combatants, evacuate immediately." Shui Jing locks his eyes on her, sizing her up. The White Fang Squad? Never heard of them. But she just one-shotted that cockroach monster. Are all the members of this organization this insanely strong? Xu Ren glances back at him, thinking, this kid only looks about 17 or 18. Yet, he managed to severely injure a cockroach monster with his bare hands. Plus, he's incredibly handsome. I've got to find a way to recruit him. Out of nowhere, Shiren walks right up to Shijing and hands him a business card. A confused Shijing asks, "What's this for?" Shu Ren simply replies, "Come to the address on this card this Sunday at 5 in the evening. I'll answer everything you want to know." He watches her walk away, completely baffled. Looking down, the card reads, 7th floor, Qingcheng Library. Once outside, Lingling's worshipful voice echoes, "Hey, are you really okay? Let me take you to the hospital for a proper checkup." "I'm really fine. Thanks for showing me around your dojo today. If there's nothing else, I'll head out first." "You're definitely coming back tomorrow, right?" Lingling calls out, but her master cuts in. "I highly doubt it, Lingling. That boy was wielding that kind of power the very first time he channeled his inner energy. A small dojo like ours could never hope to hold someone with that kind of potential." Meanwhile, the system notifies him that after surviving a fierce battle, his training experience has increased by 229, leaving him feeling incredibly relaxed. He also gains 89 health preservation experience points and 98 close combat experience points. With his close combat level reaching 116 out of 300, the conditions to unlock the 1-inch punch skill have been met. Staring at the prompt, Shijing falls deep into thought, realizing, so, the 1-inch punch is about focusing all my energy into a single point, accelerating to insane speeds over the shortest possible distance. That way, no matter how tough the defense is, you can shatter it. He really wanted to feel that rush again, but immediately after, a wave of nausea hit him. He recalled his master's warning, never use it unless absolutely necessary. Exhausted, Shijing muttered to himself, "No more pushing it. I'll get some good sleep tonight and deal with this tomorrow." With only dim streetlights lighting up the alleyways, Shijing walked home, lost in thought. The White Fang Squad, Divine Relics. Just how many secrets is this world hiding from me? I guess I'll check out that address next weekend. Right then, a light flickered from inside a corner of the house. He pulled out his phone, quietly keeping an eye on things. Shijing demanded, "Hey, what were you messing around with on my computer just now?" Weiner played dumb and tried to act cute, though she was breaking a cold sweat. He sighed, "Fine, don't say it. I'll settle the score with you once I wake up." As night fell under a thin blanket of clouds, she watched Shijing collapse onto the bed and wondered, what's wrong with him? Weiner quickly sniffed the air and caught the scent of blood. Startled, she thought, did he get into a fight? He's my person. Who dares bully him? Suddenly, Weiner pounced onto him and asked, "Hey kid, tell me what happened. Don't worry, just tell me. No matter what happened, I, Ning Fenghuan, leader of the dragon sect, will make sure justice is served." Shijing was speechless. She really could talk. Exhausted, he mumbled, "I knew you were a human. Whatever, I'll deal with this after I sleep." Weiner yelled in frustration, "Hey, wake up and tell me first." "Great, he's already asleep. Kid?" As the night faded and sunlight filled the room, Shijing was back to his energetic self before sitting down for breakfast. Weiner asked between bites, "So you didn't get beaten up, but you actually defeated a monster?" He looked down and gave a soft nod, then went back to eating. She grew tense. She had never heard of those things wandering into the city center before. Right then, Shijing walked over and patted her head to comfort her. He smiled and said, "Thanks for worrying about me." Hearing that name, Weiner snapped. "Weiner? Don't call me Weiner. You must address me with respect as sect leader." Shijing teased. "All right, Lady Weiner. Since you can talk now, how about you explain what exactly you're doing?" Hearing that, Weiner broke into a cold sweat. Weiner spoke up, "This is called the cattail ring. It's a divine relic, and I'm researching info on it." Shijing muttered in awe. "So this is actually a divine relic. 286 years ago, God died. I heard those yellow spots of light are the divine relics. I'd only heard rumors about them, but I'm finally seeing one in person." He frowned. "No wonder it can absorb divinity." She shrieked in embarrassment. "How long are you going to keep squeezing that?" Shijing gave a dry cough. "So you're trying to figure out how to use it?" Weiner sighed gloomily. "No, I want to take it off." Hearing that, he was momentarily taken aback. She explained, "You already know the Dragon Sect is the largest faction in the province. We don't just control the entertainment districts, we also partner up with dojos to run the medicine trade. Maybe our influence grew too fast and made people jealous. I was ambushed right in my own villa, and someone forced this thing onto me, turning me into a cat. By the time I went through hell to escape, the Dragon Sect had already become prey in the hands of others. Only by taking this off can I return to my human form and wipe those bastards out." He wondered, "So what's your next move?" If you can't find it online, the library is probably a dead end too. Warner crossed her arms, looking smug. Regarding that, this sect leader already has a master plan, and that is for you to train in martial arts and get strong. Shui Jing looked puzzled. How do those two things have anything to do with each other? She asserted. Of course they do. Once you get strong, powerful organizations will definitely come looking for you. Who knows, some of them might possess divine relics. If you follow those clues, you're bound to find a way to remove this cattail ring. Shui Jing laughed helplessly to himself. Well, they've actually already come looking for me, Warner encouraged. So, I'm going to introduce you to the best dojo around. Curious about what she meant, he listened as Warner probed. Have you ever heard of the Hidden Dragon Dojo? Shui Jing nodded in surprise. Of course he had. He thought to himself, when I first wanted to train, I looked up the tuition for every single dojo in the province, and the Hidden Dragon Dojo was by far the most expensive, but that's not why it stuck in my mind. Shui Jing lamented, it's because that place has a ridiculous amount of terrible reviews. Warner scoffed. Those useless weaklings can't even handle a little hard work. Why bother learning martial arts at all? In the real world of martial artists, no one looks down on the Hidden Dragon Dojo. He asked, but how am I supposed to get in? She emphasized, simple. By the martial arts custom, you challenge them. Shui Jing was taken aback. If I challenge their dojo, they'll actually still accept me? Weiner looked at him like he was a clueless kid and replied, a challenge is basically just an interview, isn't it? Dojo disciples are split into different ranks. Even if you pay to join, if you work hard but lack talent, it's completely useless. Even if you have talent, it is raw power that actually matters. If it takes you 8 to 10 years to prove yourself, you are basically useless. On the path of martial arts, your mindset is everything. Only when you have an invincible spirit can you unleash truly invincible strikes. Issuing a challenge is your way of stepping up. It is the ultimate way to prove your resolve. Make sure to show up at the dojo tomorrow. I have some business to take care of. Before you know it, the next day arrives. A student steps out to greet him, saying, welcome to the Tanglong Dojo, classmate. As Tiat Kan steps forward to reply, the other disciple squeezes his hand in a tight grip. Hello there. I have arrived. Does he realize this is a test? Well, since it is a test, he has to take it seriously. But the moment Tiat Kan squeezes back, the guy immediately screams, all right, ow, ow, let go of me. The other students start teasing him, hey, don't mind him, classmate. This guy is just a total martial arts freak. He tries to challenge everyone he meets, and honestly, we have lost count of how many times he has been beaten. Shut up, you guys. Tiat Kan realizes the truth. This guy is just a total amateur. Suddenly, someone calls out, look, the old dojo master and some of the core disciples are here. Wait, what is going on? Even the headmaster is here, and every single core disciple who is still in town showed up too. Is something major going down? Is our dojo about to go bankrupt or something? Tiat Kan's eyes widen in shock. Why on earth is Ho Ni here too? Suddenly, Lai, that speaks up, commanding everyone to be quiet. He studies Tiat Kan closely. So, you are the one who came to challenge us? Catching Ho Ni winking to give him a secret signal, Tiat Kan gets the hint and confidently declares, that is right. Instantly, Lai, that unleashes a heavy, suffocating pressure. It has been a long time since anyone dared to challenge me. Tell me, kid, do you really think you are qualified? Tiat Kan just stands there, totally clueless. Qualified? What is that supposed to mean? Honestly, if you ask me that, I wouldn't know either. In reality, his combat-related stats are still pretty low. The old man narrows his eyes. How about this? Let me ask you a few questions. Tiat Kan replies, go ahead, senior. And so, their little interrogation begins. What is your name? Tiat Kan. How old are you? 17. Where do you live? What do your parents do for a living? Lai. That then asks, are you an only child? Do you have any siblings? Tiat Kan starts getting suspicious. Why are these questions getting weirder by the second? Is he on a blind date or something? Suddenly, the old master scratches his head and bursts out laughing. Hey, don't be like that. You are about to join the family as my son-in-law, so of course I have got to ask a few questions. Tiat Kan whispers, what on earth is going on here? Ho Ni quickly replies, don't look at me. I have absolutely no idea. Suddenly, Sun An clenches her fists and steps in. Grandpa, whether he is qualified or not, we will only know after we fight. Tiat Kan's eyes instantly narrow as his guard goes up. The girl smirks. Don't worry, little brother. I will go easy on you. Showing zero fear, Tiet Kan curls his finger, beckoning her forward. Bring it on. The crowd immediately starts whispering. Wow, even our little senior sister is stepping up personally. Someone else mutters, yeah, that kid is totally toast today. Ho Ni watches in sheer frustration. We literally came here for a blind date. Why are you guys suddenly fighting? Meanwhile, Sun On lunges forward, shouting, watch out, little brother. Ho Ni watches the scene, completely on edge. In the blink of an eye, Tiet Kan and the girl unleash a massive magic circle. Sun On throws a barrage of strikes, but Tiet Kan effortlessly dodges every single one. In a split second, he grabs her arm and slams her hard onto the ground. With Sun On completely defeated, her head is left spinning like a top. Fu Quang nods in approval. His spatial awareness and timing are incredibly precise. He definitely has my style from back in the day. Lai that bursts into laughter. You really did find a magnificent prospect for this old man. Hoan Ni can't help but smirk with pride. Of course he is. Who do you think found him? She lets out a sigh of relief. Seriously, I was actually worried about him for a second. Tiet Kan adjusts his jacket and speaks up. So, old master, does this mean my challenge was a success? Right at that moment, the system notifications start ringing in his head. You have successfully won a battle against a stronger opponent. Close combat experience plus 211. All other stats have increased, and you have gained a massive boost in favorability. His expression turns serious. To think someone who has never trained in martial arts could defeat Truk Sun An, without a doubt, you are fully qualified to become my direct disciple. So, isn't it about time you started addressing me properly? Hearing this, Tiet Kan is left completely stunned. Tiet Kan steps forward to shake hands with everyone. It is a pleasure, master, senior brother, senior sister, Fu Quang replies. Welcome to the family, 7th junior brother. Awesome, Sun An speaks up, clearly annoyed. Hey, what about me? I am Truk Sun An, your 6th senior sister. I only lost because I let my guard down, so don't you dare get cocky just because you won once. He quickly bows with deep respect. Thank you for the guidance, 6th senior sister. Secretly, he thinks to himself, so before I got here, she was the youngest one in the group. Just then, an attendant approaches him. Young Master Tiet, please allow me to guide you to complete your enrollment. Tiet Kan is taken aback. Wait, why are you calling me that? Lie. That explains. A direct disciple of mine can never be looked down upon by anyone. As of today, you officially hold a residency in the inner ring, so calling you young master is only fitting. He scratches his cheek awkwardly. Is there any way we can change that title? Young Master Tiet just sounds incredibly weird. The butler asks, well, how about Master Kan then? Tiet Kan lets out a helpless sigh. Whatever works for you guys, as long as you are happy. A little later, the scene shifts to the lounge. Tiet Kan speaks up. You know, that challenge wasn't nearly as hard as you made it out to be. She went down in a single move. Ho Ni replies, actually, you are wrong. She is way stronger than you are. But martial arts isn't just a battle of raw numbers. It is about your mindset, your physical state, information, and split-second decisions. Luck can always be the key factor that decides victory or defeat. He was surprised, asking if she meant that girl had underestimated her opponent. She nodded in agreement. That's right. If she had been more careful and waited for you to make a move before acting, things wouldn't have ended up like this. But a win is a win, and there's no debating that. Shuijing felt a surge of determination inside. Even though she said that, he knew he only won out of sheer luck. It looked like he still needed to train a lot harder. Suddenly, he remembered something. Oh right, where did you go last night? You didn't stay at the training hall the whole night, did you? Huan Er replied. Yeah, I did. If you want to let someone in, you have to run it by Old Man Li first. Shuijing asked curiously. Old Man Li? Huan Er stretched and explained. Back in the day, he almost slept with my grandma. He thought to himself. So, he was basically a homewrecker. Just then, someone called out, Brother Jing, here is your ID card. When you come tomorrow, just swipe it at the gate to get in. System. Charm experience plus 20. Shuijing replied, thanks. The next day, people were gossiping. I heard this kid has been training here all night long. On the notification screen, all his experience points were rapidly shooting up. Others commented, that long? He's terrifyingly strong. The system continued. Internal force leveled up to 2. Gained massive goodwill. Charm plus 35. Right at that moment, Li Qi shouted, don't stop. Keep pushing. You're almost there. Don't let all your hard work tonight go to waste. Internal force experience plus 99. Leveled up. Congratulations. Internal force leveled up to 3. 0 out of 500. A moment later, Shui Jing collapsed onto the ground, gasping for air in exhaustion. Meanwhile, the old man burst into a hearty laugh. I've taken in so many disciples in my life, but you are by far the strongest. Before long, you'll be able to practice the cultivation technique of our hidden dragon sect. Hearing those words, he immediately sprang to his feet. What kind of technique is it? How strong do I need to get to learn it? Li Qi thought to himself. This kid really is a total martial arts maniac. He reached out his hand and told him to grip it tight. Shui Jing complied, but his mind was full of doubts. Another test? In an instant, the old man's eyes became heavily bloodshot. He felt a massive surge of true qi flowing into his body. What is he doing? No, I can't resist this at all. Li Qi let go and asked, "What kind of sports do you usually play?" Shui Jing stammered, Just running. I don't really do anything else. Master, is there something wrong with my body? He shook his head to reassure him. Nothing is wrong but your body. It's like it was sculpted by a god with severe OCD. Every single muscle, every bone, and every organ. They're all so balanced and perfect, it's terrifying. Simply put, you are a martial arts prodigy, without a single doubt. This has got to be because of my stat panel. After activating my hand-to-hand combat skill, my body transformed like this. I guess I really could be considered a genius now. Curious, Shui Jing asked. So, can I start learning that cultivation technique now? He replied helplessly. What is your rush? You have been training all night, and your body is covered in injuries. Trying to practice a cultivation technique now is nothing short of a death wish. Shui Jing frowned, determination burning in his eyes. Then what should I do? Li Qi instructed, go to the break room first. I will have some sleeping dragon balm brought over for you in a bit. A while later, at the hidden dragon dojo, he heard a sound outside and called out, Come in. Shan Ying walked in. Little junior brother, let senior sister help you treat those wounds. He gasped in surprise. Sixth senior sister? What are you doing here? His mind was screaming. Is this girl here to get revenge? Shan Ying spoke up. Little junior brother, take off your clothes. Well, look at you, quite fit, aren't we? Shui Jing replied nervously. You flatter me, sister. What is next? She gestured. Come over here and lie down. Suddenly, the system chimed. Favorability from target has increased significantly. Charisma plus 45. Shan Ying smiled with satisfaction. There you go, be a good boy and do not move. She began pouring the ointment onto his body. Wait, I told you not to move. Shui Jing thought to himself, what on earth is this girl trying to do? Shan Ying teased him. Junior brother, do not look at me like that. Truth is, I can be pretty competitive. His face flushed red as he felt her apply quite a bit of force. Leaning in with a mischievous, playful smirk, she whispered, Come on, say something. Shui Jing forced a weak smile. It is nothing, as long as you are happy, sister. She avoided his gaze, looking a bit guilty. All right, it was my fault. I only lost because I was careless. Yet here I was thinking about getting back at you by taking advantage of this to tease you. The system chimed again, showing another spike in her favorability. Looking apologetic, she pleaded, You are not mad at me, are you? He replied, I am not mad, it just hurts a little. Please go on, sister, do not mind me. Shan Ying smiled warmly, satisfied. All right then, your upper body is done. Now, take off your pants. Huh? Tiet Khan panicked, instantly backing away. Wait, I can do the lower half myself. I really don't want to trouble you, senior sister. She immediately covered her mouth and giggled. I was just teasing you. Look how terrified you got. All right, I'll leave the rest to you, seventh junior brother. With that, Sun An hummed a little tune and walked away. The system alerts kept chiming. You have completed one session of hibernating dragon stance training, earning 98 experience points. Walking down the street, Tiet Khan muttered to himself. That was terrifying. She almost completely disassembled me. Status window. Congratulations, you've leveled up. My combat skills just hit level 3, and my internal energy is up to level 4. Man, I leveled up already? Well, since I have nothing else to do right now, it's the perfect time to head over to the library for my meeting. The name sounds a bit cringe, but they're actually the Provincial Special Police Force. But if they're looking for me, why on earth would they want to meet at a library? A little while later, he made his way over to the provincial library. Shui Jing looked around, but the place was completely empty. Was this a prank? Suddenly, a voice called out to him, Shui Jing, you're here. He quickly spun around toward the sound. She smiled and introduced herself. Hi there, I'm Wu Yuqing. Shui Jing was curious. Yuqing. Yu as in youthful, and Qing as in sunny. Why did you want to meet me in a library of all places? Wu Yuqing explained. My insider secretly referred you to me, so obviously, we couldn't just meet up at the special police headquarters. I was a bit skeptical at first, but now that I've met you in person, I'm convinced. So, how about joining us? She asked with a calm smile. Shui Jing got straight to the point. Why should I? Wu Yuqing smiled. Don't you want to know the truth about divine relics? Hearing those words, he froze in shock for a second. Seeing his reaction, she teased. Looks like I guessed right. Shui Jing frowned. How do you even know about divine relics? She didn't answer directly, but instead, casually reached for the water pitcher on the table. Wu Yuqing said, It's fine if you don't want to tell me. It's my bad for not sharing some information first. She slid a glass of water over to him and gestured for him to take a sip. He complied, raising the glass and drinking it all down. Shui Jing looked puzzled. Isn't this just plain water? Wu Yuqing didn't say a word. She just calmly poured another glass, letting the crystal clear water fill it up. Try it again, she offered. He frowned in curiosity. Wasn't it just going to be plain water again? He wondered what on earth she was trying to pull. Still, Shui Jing decided to play along and downed the glass once more. Suddenly, his eyes widened in shock. It was sweet. Wu Yuqing began to explain. 287 years ago, God died. Or to be more precise, the divine creator perished. When God died, the scattering embers of light became what we call God's blood. This blood rained down, binding itself to objects, living creatures, and even the subconscious dreams of humanity. Anything infected by God's blood became a divine relic. This sweetwater pitcher, designated God 1567, is one of those divine relics. Shui Jing leaned forward. Can I take a look at it? For all I know, you could have just secretly put sugar in there beforehand. She smiled and nodded. Of course, go ahead. The system alerts immediately chimed in. Warning, divine substance detected. Commencing divinity extraction, divinity +5. Current status, 502 out of 500. He realized that he could actually absorb divinity just by making contact with these divine relics. This was his chance to finally unlock Minggu's active skill. Excited, Shui Jing asked. So what else can this thing do? Does it just make water sweet without sugar, or can it boil water out of thin air? The system notification rang out again. Divinity +5. Wu Yuqing giggled, covering her mouth. Close, but not quite. Keep guessing. She thought to herself, this kid acts like he's never seen the world outside. He's actually pretty cute. He took a closer look and analyzed it. Wait, the water level didn't drop at all. Is the water in this pitcher infinite? Wu Yuqing nodded. Exactly. You're pretty sharp, she said with a gentle smile. The system chimed again. Current status, 502 out of 500. Shui Jing thought to himself, awesome, I've got enough points. I can finally activate the active skill. Wu Yuqing spoke up. As a top student from the provincial high school, surely you understand the implications of this? Shui Jing replied, it completely ignores the laws of physics. If that's the case, isn't this pitcher essentially a perpetual motion machine? It's something that can literally rewrite the fundamental laws of the universe. Wait, could the continuous power supply in the inner ring be connected to this as well? She reassured him, don't overthink it. The very existence of divine relics is pure absurdity. They are things that humanity can never hope to replicate. He frowned, puzzled. Why are you telling me all of this, anyway? She explained. 3 days ago, as a mere ordinary human, you defeated a monster. Facing such a terrifying, mysterious entity, you didn't show a single shred of fear. Mentally, you are far stronger than the vast majority of people. That's why I want you to join our Wu Divine Relic Containment Company. Shui Jing looked at her with pure sincerity. Big sister, please let me join your team. I promise I'll be completely loyal and follow all your orders. My dearest big sister, he cheered inwardly. A Divine Relic Containment Company was a dream job. He had to get in, no matter what. As Shui Jing walked, his mind was racing. A Divine Relic Containment Company. Just by the name alone, he knew he'd be surrounded by countless relics. He was about to be absolutely loaded. Right now, divine relics were his only source of divinity. If a simple passive skill like Twin Soul was already this insanely overpowered, an active skill would be completely broken. Once he got it, nobody in this world would ever be able to stand against him. Seeing his overly excited reaction, Wu Yuqing smiled, thinking he was still so incredibly naive. She unzipped her backpack and pulled out a document. Wu Yuqing handed it over. Take a look at the contract first. If everything looks good to you, go ahead and sign it. He scanned through the pages. It felt just like a standard employment contract, except for a very strict non-disclosure clause. Xu Jing looked up. Is this job really dangerous? Wu Yuqing explained. Divine relics are classified into 4 distinct hazard levels. They are categorized as Class A, B, C, and D, depending on how dangerous they actually are. Since you just joined the company, you will only be assigned D-rank missions. As long as you follow the instructions, you won't face any danger at all. Once you get some more experience under your belt, we will start giving you the truly dangerous assignments. Curious, Xuejing asks. So, what about A rank? She reassures him that he doesn't need to worry about that for now. When divine relics of that level appear, it is not something a single person or even a company can handle. At that point, official government agencies will step in to handle it. Xuejing suddenly turns serious. One last question. Why did you choose me? Just because I've come into contact with a divine relic before doesn't mean I am qualified, right? To himself, he thinks, she doesn't know about his system interface, nor does she know he is training in martial arts. Did she recruit me solely based on Xu Ren's word? No matter how I look at it, something feels off. Hearing this, Yu Qing calmly responds, you got one thing wrong. It is not that you came into contact with a divine relic. It is that the divine relic came into contact with you. He frowns, still confused. What does that mean? She explains that divine relics must possess some level of consciousness or will. They actively seek out those who attract them. And among humans, there is a specific group of people with the natural ability to attract divine relics. I am one of those people, Yu Qing points at Xuejing, emphasizing her words. And you happen to have the exact same constitution as me. Offering you this kind of salary should be proof enough of my sincerity. He thinks to himself, wow, am I really that amazing? No wonder they were in such a rush to recruit him. As Xuejing signs his name, he says aloud, honestly, the money doesn't really matter. I just have a passion for divine relics. I look forward to learning from you, big sis. You're the best, sis. Yu Qing looks at the contract in her hand and smiles. It's a pleasure working with you. He gets up to leave, saying, if there's nothing else, I will head out first. She bids him goodbye. Xuejing thinks to himself, the hidden dragon dojo and collecting divine relics. These 2 things alone are going to keep me incredibly busy. I probably won't have any time to go to school lately. He sends a text to a friend. Hey, can you ask the teacher to excuse me from class? Just say I am sick in bed. Sure, I got you. Thanks a ton. Besides, Xuejing tells himself, a monthly salary of 200,000. Even if I worked for 10 years after graduation, I'd never make this much. The most urgent thing right now is to boost my strength. Only by getting stronger will I have any hope of returning home. First, let's see what this active skill is all about. Level 1 Twin System. Divinity required to upgrade. 502 out of 100. Passive ability. Grants 2 lives. After death, allows free choice of resurrection time within 7 days. Cooldown is 3 months. Active skill. Locked. Unlock requirement. Divinity reaches 502 out of 500. He chooses to activate it, and the screen displays memory, physical defense, physical strength, reaction speed, movement speed, calculation speed, and concentration. Xuejing falls into deep thought. Does this mean if I choose physical strength, using twin will double my power? I already have a resurrection passive, so doubling my defense seems kind of pointless. Besides, I am already incredibly tanky. My main attack style is sniping, which doesn't rely on raw power anyway. In martial arts, speed is king. Let's go with speed first. Movement speed. I should set up a benchmark first, otherwise I won't be able to tell how powerful this skill actually is. From here to that streetlight is about 100 meters. Let's do a test run to see how long it takes. He suddenly bolts down the long street at an astonishing speed. The timer on his phone keeps running, finally stopping at 10.24 seconds. Xuejing looks at the screen, quite satisfied. Not bad at all. Once I activate the skill, running back should be even faster, right? He crouches down, getting into a starting stance. Twin. Instantly, Xuejing is enveloped by a brilliant, surging light. As he bolts forward, he leaves a streak of lightning in his wake. Skidding to a halt, he checks the timer. It is twice as fast. This twin skill is seriously insane, Xuejing analyzes. For a normal person, Shaving down a 100 meters sprint from 20 seconds to 12 seconds is relatively easy. All it takes is some consistent, high-intensity training, but after that, shaving off even 0.1 seconds requires hundreds, if not thousands, of times more effort. Without top-tier talent and endless resources, it is completely impossible. Now, imagine I am in close combat with someone where even a split-second mistake could be fatal. The moment Twin is activated, absolutely no one will be able to react to this absurd, counterintuitive surge in speed. He realized right then, this is his ultimate trump card. This is Twin, a rule-breaking divine skill that completely defies the laws of physics and human limits. While my body's still warmed up, let's test it out a few more times. Wait, why does this have a cooldown too? System, are you seriously doing this to me? From the moment he activated the skill, the active duration was only about 20 seconds. It looks like he will have to be extremely tactical about when he uses it in the future. With no clue when the cooldown will end, the screen simply displays, Level 1 Twin. Xuejing drags his exhausted body back home. Training all day has left him incredibly sore. All he wants to do is soak in a warm tub and pass out. Tomorrow, he still has to head to the dojo. The moment he steps through the door, he collapses straight onto the floor. After what feels like hours, Xuejing opens his eyes and looks around. Looking down at his phone, he gasped. Wait, I've been asleep for 6 hours? Xuejing gritted his teeth in frustration. Why the hell did I end up sleeping in the hallway? First, let's check how much my twin skill has recovered. It's almost ready, so every second I use the twin skill requires a 1,000 second cooldown. If I completely drain it, it takes 6 hours to fully recover. Just then, a notification popped up. Shaning's text practically screamed at him. Xuejing, why aren't you at practice yet? He sprinted down the street, panicking. Oh crap, I'm gonna be so late. A while later, Xuejing finally arrived at the Konglong dojo. He burst through the doors with a loud slam, catching everyone's attention. The young girl helping the others train called out softly, Hey, 7th junior. Shanning immediately rushed over. You're just in time. Let's have a sparring match so we can show everyone how to channel their strength properly. The onlookers began to whisper, Come on, we already know who's going to lose. Last time, senior sister Zhu was just being careless. Our little junior brother just started learning martial arts. There's no way he can beat her. I just hope senior sister Zhu goes easy on him and doesn't break our little junior. Xuejing sighed in resignation. Seriously? Again? She says it's for a demonstration, but she obviously wants to win back her pride from last time, and there's no way she'll let her guard down this time. He slid into his stance and called out, No worries, I actually wanted to test my skills anyway. Senior sister, please guide me. A system prompt flashed before his eyes. Level 1 twin skill activated. Shanning immediately lunged at Xuejing, aiming to take control of the fight right from the start. But before she could even land a hit, he deftly dodged her strike. Suddenly, Xuejing grabbed Shanning's wrist and slammed her hard onto the floor. Dazed and dizzy on the ground, Shanning's mind raced. How? I went all out. So why did I still lose? Standing over her, he said, Thanks for the match, senior sister Zhu. The system chimed in. You have completed a battle. Combat experience plus 97. You have completed a battle. Gym experience plus 81. You have completed a battle. Mood, joyful. Wellness experience plus 49. Xuejing thought to himself, Wait, does this not count as defeating a stronger opponent anymore? Does the system reckon that once my twin speed is active, I'm no longer weaker than Shanning? She has tons of combat experience. And she was totally on her guard this time, yet she still couldn't react in time. This twin skill is insanely powerful, way beyond what I imagined. It looks like my training should focus on how to master this speed contrast. Right then, Fu Guang walked over to strike up a conversation. Hey Junior, want to practice the Zheilong art together? He smiled and replied, Sounds great. Please guide me. 5th Senior. A while later, the senior's voice was filled with sheer exhaustion. Wait, hold on, Junior. I thought you were just bluffing about training the Zheilong art all night. But you're already on the verge of manifesting dragon energy. That is just ridiculous. Xuejing blinked, confused. Dragon energy? Fu Guang hesitated before continuing. Well, there's a legendary peak physical realm in the martial arts world called the treasure body. It literally means forging your physical form into a priceless treasure. In this realm, the body can reach 5 ultimate states. The first is flesh dragon elephant, meaning it's as if water dragons are living inside your muscles. The second is iron tree tendons, where your tendons and meridians become as tough as the roots of an ancient cycad tree. Third is glazed skin, making your skin flawless and pristine like smooth glaze. Fourth is eternal jade bone, where your bones are tempered into indestructible, immortal jade. And fifth is lava blood, where your entire body's blood boils like molten lava whenever you channel your energy. But of course, this is just a myth. No one has ever actually achieved it. He thought to himself, maybe not. Just because others can't do it doesn't mean it's impossible for me. Perhaps I can try to become a living martial arts legend. Just then, Meng Baqiang made a dramatic, explosive entrance. Shui Jing's eyes instantly narrowed in alert, while Fu Guang jumped in sheer terror. First senior, you've scattered glass shards all over the floor again. Turning back, he gestured, come here, junior. Let me introduce you. This is our first senior, the strongest powerhouse of our Kanglong dojo, Meng Baqiang. He's a bit of an eccentric, and he has this weird habit of crashing through windows. Suddenly, his eyes widened in absolute shock. Shui Jing thought, did he seriously just leap all the way up to the 17th floor? Just how insanely strong is this guy? Fu Guang offered a flattering, nervous smile. First senior, did you need me for something? With just a simple shrug from the giant, Fu Guang immediately got the message. Ah, I got it. Junior, I've got some stuff to take care of, so I'll head out first. Remember this. The true essence of the Zheilong art lies in how you channel and shape your energy. Shui Jing watched him leave, murmuring, channeling and shaping. He pressed his hand firmly against the cold ground. Right. Lately, I've only been focusing on how to increase the density of my qi, completely neglecting its shape. Maybe I can try combining it with my aiming ability. 3 hours flew by as he continuously absorbed spiritual energy, drawing external power deep into his body. The veins in his arm bulged, carrying a bizarre glowing sphere of energy. Shui Jing locked onto his target, preparing to unleash it. A massive explosion tore through the room, sweeping everything in its path. He gasped in awe. Whoa, this is way more devastating than throwing some random rock. Suddenly, the sound of slow, rhythmic clapping began to echo through the space. Li Qi praised him. I never expected that, besides your outstanding physical talent, you'd also be so gifted in force control. He pulled out a pill and ordered, eat it. He complied, holding out his hand to take it. Shui Jing casually tossed it straight into his mouth. Li Qi released a massive aura and commanded, Xiao Jing, look at me. He was instantly bewildered. What's going on? Where is this? What did Master do to me? Shui Jing fell into an incredibly bizarre space, where a blinding light radiated from beneath the water. A giant dragon appeared and charged toward him. It opened its massive eyes to stare at Shui Jing, whose gaze was instantly drawn in, sparks of red fire igniting in his eyes. Shui Jing stared at his arm in sheer disbelief. What is this now? Shui Jing clutched his head in agony, feeling the energy inside his body running wild. Is this from that pill? He tried to calm down, taking deep breaths. Shui Jing thought to himself, first, I need to stabilize my energy before doing anything else. He compressed his energy until his face turned bright red. Shui Jing realized the feeling was incredible. All stray thoughts vanished, leaving a brilliant space with a massive claw. He calmly sensed the presence of the giant dragon. For now, I just need to focus on my training. Suddenly, cracks of light erupted everywhere. The moment he opened his eyes, the system notified him that the conditions to unlock the visualization skill had been met. Visualization level 1 out of 300. Returning to reality, he gently opened his eyes. Shui Jing asked in confusion, how did I end up back here? Li Qi explained, if you didn't return, I'm afraid your energy would have been completely drained. To cultivate dragon qi on your very first try, Xiao Jing, you really are something. Curious, he asked. What is dragon qi? The old man explained. So-called dragon qi, to put it plainly, is actually a type of emotion. Think about it. When you hit someone in anger, isn't your strike much harder? When you're in survival mode, doesn't your entire body feel exceptionally powerful? In our hidden dragon style, we call this technique of triggering emotions active qi. The technique of controlling emotions is called calm qi. If you can combine the active and the calm, everything will flow smoothly. The more he heard, the more excited Shui Jing became. So how do I train it? Li Qi stroked his beard and laughed. You've probably already grasped its essence. Don't ask just yet. Think about it on your own, he replied. I think I get the essence. It means keeping the mind completely undistracted, right? Jing shut his eyes tight to heighten his focus. He realized he seemed to remember everything he had learned and seen in his past life. I couldn't even solve this math problem during the college entrance exam back then. I haven't even reviewed it once, so why does it seem so easy now? And this knowledge too. Jing pointed at himself. I've gotten smarter. The old man reminded him, that's only a small part of it. Looking at his hand, he continued. Also, things that would normally get to me don't affect my emotions anymore, and my imagination has become much sharper. I can instantly picture the form of a giant dragon, down to every single strand of its mane and every golden scale in perfect detail. Could this be the true essence of visualization? Li Qi replied, just talking about it won't do. You have to practice to truly feel it. Qing Chao, go spar with him. Meanwhile, Qing Chao had just finished eating, with food still smeared around her mouth. He introduced her, saying Qing Chao's force control was the best among all his disciples, outmatching even her own father. He doubted it, with such a slender build. Is that even possible? I wonder who's stronger between her and sixth senior sister. She calmly held out her hand, challenging Jing. He got the message, and immediately lunged forward. Pardon me, fourth senior sister, but before Jing could land a hit, Qing Chao blocked him effortlessly. The old man stroked his beard and laughed. Your intentions are way too obvious. Jing thought in shock. Is she even stronger than my cheat code? She calmly brushed off the dust from her hands. Steadying himself, Jing charged at her again. Fourth, senior sister, again. He told himself that this time, he would do whatever it took to win. Dirty or ruthless, it doesn't matter. In martial arts, the one standing wins, and the one on the ground loses. Yet, Qing Chao saw right through every single one of his moves. Jing landed back on the ground, wiped away his sweat, and kept going. Soon, the only sound echoing inside the house was the clash of their blows. Those sounds continued all the way until dusk. He kept dodging while she launched a non-stop barrage of attacks. Suddenly, Jing's hand managed to strike Qing Chao's body. She was sent skidding back quite a distance. He stared blankly at his fist. The sensation just now was surprisingly soft. Li Qi reached out a hand to steady Qing Chao's back. He spoke up, let's call it a day. Qing Chao must be hungry, and sparring any further won't do much good anyway. Qing Chao, go get some rest first. Wiping his sweat, Jing asked, now that I think about it, master, how come fourth senior sister never talks? Li Qi explained, Qing Chao went through some things when she was a child. It's a long story, but I'll tell you all about it when we have the time. He complied, understood. The old man continued, so, tell me how you felt today. Was the training effective? Jing replied, I'm exhausted. System notifications kept popping up. Stamina level 5, 827 out of 2000. Health cultivation level 3, 460, 8 out of 800. Running level 5, 699 out of 2000. I've never been this exhausted in my entire life, but I've also never felt this thrilled. He noted that fourth senior sister was incredibly strong, just training for over 4 hours, and his experience had shot up this much. It looked like he would have to ride her coattails from now on. A long while later, he was walking alone down the long road. When he got home, Jing called out, Huaner, I bought some fried chicken for you. Huaner, it is so late. Where did you go for so long? Right then, he heard someone in the bathroom. Jing thought to himself, Huaner did not bring any guests back, and there was only one pair of shoes at the door. Does that mean she is inside? Panic set in as he wondered. Could she have been locked in the bathroom? Huaner mentioned she had enemies before. Could it be? He burst through the door, yelling, Huaner, but seeing her embarrassed face, Jing let out a sigh of relief. Oh, so, you were just taking a bath? Furious, Huaner splashed water at him, shouting, do not look. He walked over and grabbed her hand, saying, if you keep dragging your feet, the fried chicken is going to get cold. At the mention of food, Huaner immediately started drooling. Fried chicken. As the sunset painted the sky, he quickly finished giving her a bath. All the while, Huaner could think of nothing but the fried chicken. Suddenly, the system notified, someone has developed positive feelings toward you. Charm skill experience points plus 89. Suddenly, the ring on her tail emitted a strange glow. Huaner reached out to push him away. Jing squeezed his eyes shut and cried, too bright. The hand that had just touched his chest began to shift and take human shape. Jing asked in utter confusion, Huaner, how did you turn into a human? His question made her face turn bright red. Panicking, Huaner jumped up and flailed her arms, screaming, "Do not look." He quickly covered his eyes, saying, "Huaner, calm down, I cannot see anything." Flushed with embarrassment, she asked, "Really?" Shuijing promised, "I am not lying to you." Either way, she had to stand up first. Suddenly, Huaner's body underwent a shocking transformation that made her extremely uncomfortable. Concerned, he asked, "What is wrong?" She stuttered in embarrassment, "Nothing." "Why did I have to turn back into a human right now?" Shuijing suggested, "Maybe you accidentally triggered the transformation condition of the divine relic." Hearing this, Huaner gasped as a thought hit her. A transformation condition? She realized that earlier, Shuijing had been showing off his perfect body and toned abs. Huaner recalled that she actually did feel a spark of attraction toward him. Just a tiny, fleeting feeling, plus the fried chicken, and then boom, she turned into a human. What kind of ridiculous activation condition was that? Besides, with these cat ears, fangs and tail, damn God, leaving behind such useless relics, she barked. "Listen up, do not get any dirty ideas. This was just an accident." Suddenly, Huaner's face flushed even deeper as she noticed something was terribly off. Looking down, she immediately stammered, "You! How dare you?" He struggled to reply, "Hey, this is not something I can control. But if you do not get off me, that won't be the only thing I lose control of," Huaner snapped. "Why did you not say so sooner? I will pull my tail out. Keep your eyes closed, and do not dare open them." But as she went to stand up, she slipped and shrieked. Huaner fell right on top of Shuijing. Panicked and flustered, he asked, "Huaner, are you okay?" Too embarrassed to look at him, Huaner blurted, "I did not mean to do that." Then, narrowing her eyes, she added, "Wait, don't tell me you are having another reaction?" Huaner suddenly let out a strange moan. Shuijing growled her name in warning, making her tear up as she whimpered, "I really did not mean to." He reassured her, "I know. Now, while I still have some self-control left, you need to get out of here. Otherwise, you might not be able to leave at all in a moment." An hour later, Huaner ran out of the bathroom in tears. She slammed the door shut in fury, making a loud bang. Left sitting on the edge of the tub, Shuijing could only sigh in exhaustion. An hour later, he walked out of the bathroom and asked in confusion, "Why did you turn back into a cat?" Huaner replied gloomily, "I do not know. Once I calmed down, I just turned back. Now, I cannot transform into a human again. It is so frustrating." In that moment, he wanted to reach out and pet her, but Huaner quickly dodged his hand and walked away. Shuijing sighed. "That makes sense. After what just happened, it is only natural she does not want me touching her." He called out, "Huaner, I recently met someone who knows a lot about divine relics. I will go ask her about your situation tomorrow. Maybe she can help you turn back into a human." She replied coldly, "Whatever." Shuijing secretly hoped she would be able to transform again. He imagined her saying, "Cult leader, I was wrong." Meanwhile, right next to him, Huaner was giggling quietly to herself. Shuijing could only let out a helpless sigh. Soon, the warm rays of dawn began to shine into the house. The system notified, "Early to bed, early to rise. Health cultivation experience points plus 38. Health cultivation upgraded to level 3 out of 800. Shuijing smiled, looking at Huaner, who was fast asleep beside him. Right then, his phone rang, and he sat up. It was a text message from Yu King. "I have a job for you. Get over here quick." Shuijing smiled excitedly. Finally, he had some work to do. Shuijing arrived at the meeting spot at Chengqing Library. He looked around. "Where is Wu Yuqing? She told me to get here in a hurry, but she is nowhere to be found." There was no one else around except for a girl wearing glasses. Suddenly, Shuijing's gaze locked onto her. "Wait, isn't that girl with glasses Wu Yuqing?" She gave him a gentle smile and slowly reached up to take off her glasses. Yuqing praises him. "Your perception is really impressive. Even though your eyes drifted while she was speaking, you still noticed me here so quickly." Yuqing's face blushes, matching her fresh lipstick. She clears her throat, pulling him out of his thoughts. Shuijing quickly looks away, pretending not to notice. Yuqing explains, "This is God Relic 1280. It looks like an ordinary pair of glasses, nothing special about it. It suppresses a person's presence, making them completely inconspicuous." He asks doubtfully, "Is that it?" "The system detects divine energy, absorbing 6% of the divinity," she explains. "Of course not. Once you take the glasses off, that suppressed presence will instantly burst out. The longer you wear them, the more dazzling and blinding the impact will be when they are removed." Shi Jing sighs helplessly. So it's not like I suddenly became weird. It's just the effect of these glasses. He speaks up. Right. Didn't you say you had a mission for me? Yu Qing reminds him. Take a look at this first. This mission is quite unique. It's a class containment task. It shouldn't have been assigned to you, but God Relic 1105, known as the Villainess's Crown of Honor, continuously amplifies the wearer's primal desires. The current wearer is a girl named Lu Huiying. The moment she spots an attractive guy, her urge to possess him becomes utterly uncontrollable. Shi Jing puts them on and asks, So, are these glasses made just for me? She nods. Of course. You already have amazing natural charm. If you wear these first, the moment you take them off, Lu Huiying's desires will explode completely. At that point, you can easily snatch the Villainess's Crown of Honor, returning her back to normal. No one is more perfect for this containment mission than you. He sighs helplessly. So after all that talk, you basically want me to use my looks as bait? But honestly, this actually suits me pretty well. The system is absorbing 41% of the divinity. This will not only drain the divine energy of 2 relics at once, but also make him stronger in no time. Besides, these glasses look great on me. Maybe I should wear them for like 10 years before taking them off. Won't I be standing at the absolute peak from then on? Yu Qing calls out blankly. Shi Jing. He clears his throat and replies, Are these glasses your personal property? She assures him. Of course not. I just borrowed them from another containment company. Shi Jing asks curiously, There are other containment companies? Yu Qing looks surprised. Wait, I didn't tell you? He asks, puzzled. Our company feels so mysterious and elite. I honestly thought we were the only branch in the entire country. Yu Qing explains, You've got it all wrong. Sure, containment companies are a bit unique, but at the end of the day, we're basically just street sweepers. He is stunned. Comparing us to street sweepers makes us sound so broke. Yu Qing smugs. In this world, there are already several thousand known relics. They can pop up anywhere at any time. A single containment company could never handle it all. Besides, this job is highly dangerous. It's not something just anyone can handle. Xie Jing concludes. So, do we cooperate with these other containment companies? Yu Qing replies. Not necessarily. Essentially, containment work is outsourced to us by the government. Some companies will do whatever it takes just to make money. If you ever run into people from other companies, you need to watch your back. He breaks into a cold sweat. Got it. Oh right, I want to test the effect real quick. Yu Qing asks curiously. What effect? Xie Jing takes off the glasses, revealing his flawless face. At that moment, Yu Qing's heart can't help but skip a beat. The system chimes. Someone is developing feelings for you. Charm value plus 19. Xie Jing smirks, satisfied. Looks like it works wonders. Later, as the car speeds down the road, he sits inside, carefully reading through the documents he was given. Xie Jing thinks, Lu Huiying, primary base of operations, South City area, bars, dance halls, nightclubs. This kind of turf is typical for a female mob boss. According to the file, Lu Huiying used the enhanced physical abilities granted by the Villainess's Crown of Honor to establish a small gang called the Rose Gang. What's more, she drains the life force of countless men in the area every single day, while the Villainess's Crown of Honor continuously intensifies her desires. The stronger her desire becomes, the greater her physical enhancement gets. If left unchecked, the effects of the Villainess's Crown of Honor will keep stacking indefinitely. Simply removing the Villainess's Crown of Honor is enough to return her to normal, so I need to find a way to take advantage of this. The bus announcement chimes, arriving at South City. Passengers, please exit through the rear door. Meanwhile, the system prompts that it is absorbing 79% of the divinity. Down in the South City area, street fights are breaking out. Lu Huiying swings her bat and bursts into wild laughter. Doing whatever the hell I want feels absolutely amazing. I'll do whatever I want, and anyone who tries to stop me gets a beatdown. Xie Jing walks in, spots her, and mutters with a chuckle. This old lady is so cringe. The moment he sees the crown on her head, he realizes, wait, is that her? Right at that moment, the manager walks out and speaks up. To own, leaving so soon? Annoyed, she snapped. Who said I wanted to leave? Where are your 2 boys? Why aren't they here today? He replied, Which one do you want, big sis? I'll go grab him right now. Tu Oan glared viciously and spat. Which one? Obviously, I want both. Watching from his hiding spot, Tiet Kan thought, She wants me to seduce this old hag? Might as well just kill me now. On the other side, the lackeys cheered. With Boss Doan stepping up this time, that old hag Lu Tu-on is dead meat. Tiat Khan realized an enemy had come for revenge, so he stayed hidden to see how it would play out. Kai Bin walked up and yelled, "Lu Tu-on, I heard you've been acting pretty damn cocky lately." Tu-on just scoffed, looking down her nose at him. "Who the hell are you?" she asked. Her lackeys quickly chimed in. "Tu-on, that's Don Kai Bin from the World Blade Gang. He's the one who beat us to a pulp." She sized Don Kai Bin up. "Well, looking closely, you've got a pretty decent build, don't you? Want to have some fun with me?" Hearing that, he flew into a rage. "You crazy old hag." Kai Bin lunged forward with a punch. "Give me back my turf, you rotten old hag. Don't you dare dodge if you've got the guts." Tiat Khan quietly analyzed the situation. So this place originally belonged to the World Blade Gang, but Lu Tu-on's Rose Gang snatched it. That's why they have a blood feud. Isn't this just gangs killing each other? The rival lackeys jeered. "Dodge? Is dodging all you can do? Get her! Rose Gang, charge!" Instantly, the scene turned into utter chaos. Tu-on screamed in horror, "Tu Bao," while someone else shrieked, "My son!" Furious, she roared, "You trash from the World Blade Gang, don't you dare ruin my fun." He taunted her. "You rotten old hag, finally getting serious? Fine, then I'll show you what I'm really made of." Suddenly, Tiat Khan's eyes widened in shock. Tu-on was slammed into the wall, denting the concrete. She went completely wild. "Interesting, let's see what you've got." Watching closely, Tiat Khan knit his brows and quietly observed. Tu-on leaped forward, rushing toward Kai Bin at lightning speed. On the other side, refusing to back down, he charged straight at her. The ground erupted into a brutal clash, enveloped in a thick cloud of dust. Tiat Khan noted that this thug, Don Kai Bin, was no ordinary fighter. Using his hand like a blade, his palms were as sharp as a sword, slicing through metal like butter. Yet, Lu Tu-on only suffered a minor scratch. In terms of raw combat power, Don Kai Bin was stronger than Lu Tu-on, but she was incredibly durable, making his attacks practically useless. Watching them, he sighed in sheer boredom. Just how long is this going to drag on? System notifications kept popping up. Divinity absorption complete, 100%. Action speed activated. Satisfied, he thought. Finally finished absorbing it. The status window was now open for selection. Tiat Khan was intrigued. "I chose speed last time, so this time I'll combine it with strength. I wonder how powerful this will be once upgraded." A magic circle instantly glowed in his eyes. Instantly unleashing his power, Tiat Khan watched as his attack pierced right through Don Kai Bin. Thrilled, he smiled. "Yes, the effect is incredible." Utterly baffled, Tu-on frantically looked around. "Who's there?" she screamed in anger. "Show yourself right now." Clutching his wound, he trembled as he spoke. "A sneak attack? Let's get out of here," his lackeys screamed. "You rotten old hag, just you wait, we'll be back." Tu-on cursed as she watched them flee. "Damn it, that hurt." Just then, Tiat Khan calmly stepped out to face her. Tu-on demanded, "Hey kid, was that your doing just now?" He confirmed, "Yeah, it was me." Confused, she asked, "Are you packing a gun?" Tiat Khan replied nonchalantly, "You could say that, but I won't be using it on you." He inwardly scoffed. Lu Tu-on has absolutely no technique. It's obvious she's never had professional training. Meanwhile, Tu-on stared at him, completely spellbound. "In that case, I'll try to defeat her head-on without relying on my looks. If things go south, I can always take off my glasses to control her." Tu-on sneered. "You think you can take me down all by yourself? Maybe in bed, but not here." Suddenly, he closed his eyes tightly and drew in a deep breath of spiritual energy. Dumbfounded, she stared at Tiat Khan's abrupt action. Tu-on wondered, is this kid actually incredibly strong? Growing defensive, she grit her teeth and demanded, "Who the hell are you?" Radiating an intense aura, he calmly replied, "Who am I?" Tiat Khan teased, "You can call me Van Hao." The system quickly chimed in. "Twin state activated." Tiat Khan lunged forward instantly, unleashing a blinding light that swept through the area. His sheer power was so immense it felt as if it would tear space itself apart. Her eyes widened in absolute shock as she witnessed Tiat Khan's true power. Explosions erupted all around, threatening to obliterate everything. Clenching his fists, he unleashed a barrage of relentless strikes. Her face was instantly slashed by countless wounds from the sheer force of his blows, and the battlefield erupted into absolute chaos. When the dust settled, thousands of shattered rocks rained down upon the area. Once the dust cleared, Tiet Khan looked at his swollen red hands. Damn, she's tough. Passersby murmured in curiosity. Are they shooting a movie? Even the wall got completely smashed. Did Tu Oan get crushed too? Who the hell is that guy? Even Don Kai Bin got beaten by Tu On, yet this kid managed to completely overpower her? But then, a hand clawed its way out of the rubble. Tu Oan emerged, absolutely furious, screaming, "You little brat!" A dark, sinister light suddenly erupted above her head. Tu On growls with pure bloodlust. You've really pissed me off now. But instead of being intimidated, Tiet Khan is absolutely thrilled. This is what a real, heart-pounding fight feels like. Tu Oan grips her weapon tightly and charges, screaming, "I'm going to turn you into minced meat." She swings with everything she has, but Tiet Khan quickly dodges the blow. In that split second, Tu On freezes in utter shock. Tiet Khan wastes no time countering, driving a heavy fist straight into her face. Tu On spits out a spray of blood, her teeth clenched in pure rage. With blood still dripping down her cheek, she completely loses her cool and screeches, "You won't get away this time." But suddenly, Tiet Khan reaches out, making Tu On pause. His eyes flash with a brilliant light, revealing a glowing magic circle deep inside them. Then, Tiet Khan casually flicks her forehead. She immediately stumbles back, clutching her face in agony, screaming, My eyes." He thinks to himself, Master always said, "It doesn't matter if it's dirty or cruel. As long as you win, any trick is a good trick. Only the last one standing gets to talk." And honestly, it's not just men-women have their weak spots too. Tu Owen's body trembles violently from the shock, while Tiet Khan raises his hands high, gearing up for another strike. He slams his hands down onto her head, crushing her with immense force. In an instant, Tu Owen is knocked out cold, face-planting straight into the dirt. Her crown clatters onto the pavement. Tiet Khan calmly adjusts his glasses under the terrified stares of the onlookers. As he bends down to pick it up, the system chimes. Divine substance detected on the villainess's crown. Extracting divinity. Tiet Khan casually pulls out his phone and snaps a photo to report the mission. He sends a text to Aotin saying, "Got it." He looks down at her defeated body and mutters a quiet warning. "Hey, try not to suffocate down there." As for her punishment, after wearing the villainess's crown and causing so much trouble, he decides to leave her to the local residents she tormented for so long. The system notifies him. Divinity absorption is at 33.39%. He realizes the absorption speed is ticking up faster. Wait, what's down there? Just then, someone walks up and calls out, "Hey, kid." Tiet Khan turns around in confusion, looking toward the voice. Jia Kiet steps forward and demands, "Hand over what's in your hand. You have no right to touch that." Tiet Khan thinks to himself, "I can't let this guy interrupt me at a critical moment like this." Tiet Khan replies calmly, "What if I say no?" Instantly, Jia Kiet unleashes a terrifying aura of bloodlust. "Kid, you're practically begging for death." System info about Tiet Khan flashes in Jia Kiet's eyes. Physically, he looks only about 16 or 17 years old, and despite living in the outskirts, he's rated over level 2. Still, that's way too weak. Jia Kiet steps closer, threatening him. "Kid, I'll give you one last chance." But before he can finish, Tiet Khan suddenly throws a swift kick straight between his legs. Jia Kiet snarls, "You cheap martial artist. You always pull these dirty, low-down tricks. Did you really think I wouldn't protect myself?" Tiet Khan takes off running, yelling back, "Who normal even guards against that? Are you some kind of pervert?" He roars, "Get back here, I'm going to kill you." Tiet Khan analyzes him as he runs. Is this guy an agent from another containment company? His body is so bizarre, it looks like he's pieced together from mechanical parts. Meanwhile, Jia Kiet is hot on his heels, relentlessly chasing him down. He reaches out with his massive hands, trying to grab Tiet Khan, but the boy quickly evades the attack. Angered by Tiet Khan's speed and his constant retreating, Jia Kiet's eyes glow a furious crimson as he clicks his tongue in frustration. That guy is a complete enigma. I can't afford to get dragged into a prolonged fight with him, Tiet Khan thinks as he sprints. Meanwhile, the system alerts. Divinity absorption is at 81%. Suddenly, Tiet Khan halts, barely managing to block a massive fist that bursts right through the wall. The impact sends him flying back through several stone walls. Tiet Khan grits his teeth, realizing that no matter how much he runs, he can't seem to shake this guy off. At that moment, the system repeatedly alerts. Divinity absorption complete. Requirements met to unlock the Shadow Flame skill. Activate now? Tiat Kan quickly reaches out to tap the screen. Jia Kiat slowly approaches, demanding, "Hand it over. Do it, and I'll only break one of your arms and legs, sparing your miserable life." But suddenly, Tiat Kan's hand smashes through the rubble, reaching right toward him. Unfazed, Jia Kiat unleashes a massive wave of bloodlust and gasps. "A bestowed?" Tiat Kan thrusts his hand out from the cracks in the stone. "A bestowed? Is he talking about me?" Tiat Kan wonders, as Jia Kiat clutches his neck and stumbles back, shouting, "Who else would it be?" Tiat Kan looks at his hand, now enveloped in dark energy, this black flame. He shatters the surrounding rocks, his body radiating a dark aura. This energy, Tiat Kan is shocked. He's actually going toe-to-toe with a level 1 shadow flame bestowed. System, Divinity for upgrade, 39 out of 10. The moment he saw the black flame, he immediately associated me with the bestowed. What on earth is the connection between us? And what exactly is a bestowed? Jia Kiat is trying to sneak away. Tiat Kan turns his head and spots him. "Oh no, you don't. I can't let him escape." He swings his hand toward him, releasing a blast of dark energy. Jia Kiat flails frantically in terror, screaming, "Stay back, get away from me." Tiat Kan looks on, puzzled. What is going on? The moment I thought about it, the shadow flame rushed right over there. Is this some kind of automatic attack system, like an automated turret? Jia Kiat looks back over his shoulder as he runs, screaming in absolute frustration. Shui Jing's lips sank into a cold, grim line, his eyes sharp as daggers. A dark, black mist snaked its way directly into Jia's nose, forcing him to whimper as tears welled up in his eyes. Shui Jing narrowed his eyes, a flicker of pure, sinister amusement dancing across his face. Suddenly, Jia's eyebrows knit tightly together as his eyes rolled back, leaving his mouth hanging wide open in horror. Shui Jing stood completely frozen, staring at him, utterly speechless. He quickly spun around, dropping to his knees as he began to retch violently. Then, with a sharp chime, a system notification rang out. "You have emerged victorious against a stronger opponent. Combat experience plus 452. You have emerged victorious against a stronger opponent. Combat experience plus 633. You have emerged victorious against a stronger opponent. Combat experience plus 422. You have emerged victorious against a stronger opponent. Combat experience plus 558. Physical training has reached level 6, with 28 out of 3,000 experience points. Health nourishment has reached level 4, with 25 out of 1,200 experience points. Marksmanship has reached level 4, with 102 out of 1,200 experience points. Combat has reached level 4, with 805 out of 1,200 experience points. Force channeling has reached level 5, with 127 out of 2,000 experience points. Shadow Flame. Shui Jing knelt on one knee, staring at Jia's corpse. Something shiny was glowing inside his chest, surrounded by a faint black mist. He was amazed. This guy was incredibly high maintenance. His entire body was made of synthetic skin. What was even crazier was how durable it was. Despite being scorched for so long, it only left a single, minor mark. If I hadn't destroyed him from the inside out just now, it would have been near impossible to kill him. Shui Jing muttered in awe as he picked up a stone from the ground. By comparison, stones look tough, but they get incinerated to ash in no time. The damage caused by this black flame must depend heavily on the target's physical durability. Besides, there's absolutely no sign of carbonization on the stone's surface, and it still feels ice cold to the touch. It seems this black fire doesn't share the same properties as actual fire. Shui Jing stared at his hand in deep confusion. The flame had completely vanished. The system interface says this black flame is converted from shadows. Now that the darkness is fading, the flame has grown weaker too. Perhaps the larger the surrounding shadows, the more shadow flame I can manifest, and the stronger it will become. As the black mist dispersed, a puzzled look crossed Shui Jing's face. Wait, is that it? It's all used up already? There wasn't even a notification, and I have no idea how the cooldown time works. He let out a heavy sigh. Oh well, let's put that aside for now. I'll leave his body here. Right now, I need to go explain the situation to Wu Yuqing. Inside a towering high-rise in the South District, a spiky, grotesque beast was pulsing under a thick shroud of black smoke. Zhongji stood with his arms crossed, staring at the creature. He reached out to gently stroke it. Ping Ping, do you know why I summoned you here? Kai Ping, whose entire body was wrapped in thick bandages, was kneeling on the floor. I know, Master, You explicitly warned me over and over again to keep a low profile, yet I still. Before he could even finish, Zhongji vanished, leaving him utterly bewildered. In the blink of an eye, Zhongji reappeared right in front of him, grabbing Kai Ping by the head. If you knew, then why the hell did you still do it? He snarled in fury. Are you tired of living? Do you have a death wish? Kai Ping slammed his head against the floor in sheer terror. Master, I was wrong. Please, forgive me. Zhongji turned his head away in disgust. Fine. Stand up then. Any word on the two beasts we sent out earlier? They seem to have been wiped out. Kai Ping replied, it was all the work of White Fang. However, rumor has it that one of them was severely wounded by a teenage boy. Zhongji's eyes narrowed, the veins on his forehead bulging in anger. A teenage boy? Kai Ping kept his head low, sweat dripping down his face as his voice trembled. I heard the boy's name is Shui Jing. His background is completely unremarkable. He's just an ordinary civilian. Zhongji roared. How could a mere ordinary human possibly defeat them? Kai Ping frantically bowed his head. Yes, master, you are absolutely right. Zhongji snarled. Even though those test subjects were imperfect, they are not meant to be humiliated by a worthless mortal. Go capture him. I will personally feed him to the great centipede mother. He let out a twisted, deformed laugh. That way, she can spawn even more offspring, and of far better quality. One day, this planet will be mine. Meanwhile, at the Jingcheng Library, Shui Jing sat with his eyes closed, lost in thought, causing such a massive mess in the middle of a mission. I wonder how Wu Yuqing is going to handle this. Oh well, there's no point in stressing over it now. I'll just face whatever comes my way. At worst, I'll just have to make up for my mistakes. Reaching the 7th floor, section F, the elevator doors slowly slid open. Wu Yuqing bowed her head. I am deeply sorry. I never expected such an unforeseen crisis to occur. Leaving you to face such danger all by yourself was a severe failure on my part. When Shui Jing saw her acting like this, his pupils dilated in complete shock. She placed a hand over her heart. I will upgrade this mission to a C+ rank and offer you some extra compensation. I hope you will accept it. Shui Jing scratched his cheek in confusion. No problem at all. But in his mind, he was screaming, what on earth is going on? Her reaction is completely different from what I expected. Wu Yuqing let out a relieved sigh. Thank you. She then continued, we've successfully identified the man you killed. His name was Zhou Yingkun, a C-rank containment officer working for the C-Clan Containment Corporation. I've already contacted them. They claimed this was entirely his own rogue action and had absolutely nothing to do with their containment firm. Shui Jing sat down, his face filled with deep skepticism. A rogue action? He pointed at the document on the table. The guy is a man. Why on earth would he need the villainess's crown? Wu Yuqing slid a map across the desk. Take a look at this. She pointed to the location of the C-Clan Containment Corporation. This is exactly what I'm worried about. The C-Clan Containment Corporation is located in the inner ring. There's no way they would send someone all the way out here to the outer ring just for a minor mission. That story holds up perfectly. Ao Tin stacks the papers. There might be more to this than meets the eye. Let me handle it. For now, don't get too deeply involved. Tiat Can pushes up his glasses. Got it. As he touches the crown, Ao Tin gasps. Oh, right. I almost forgot to give this to you. And these glasses, I should return them to you now, right? Ao Tin waves her hands shyly. Keep them. You might need them for your next mission. She places her hand on the paper. Actually, Chu Ung-Kon's autopsy report has some bizarre findings. All of his internal organs vanished without a trace. How did you pull that off? Tiat Can thinks back to Jia Qiat's death. This shadow flame is way too dangerous. I don't even fully understand how it works yet. For now, it's best to keep it hidden. He taps the frame of his glasses. Can I keep it a secret, sis? Ao Tin blushes instantly and freezes for a few seconds. She covers her face in embarrassment. Fine, keep your secrets. We all have them. Anyway, put the glasses on first. Tiat Can takes the glasses. Wow, these glasses are an absolute god-tier relic. His eyes light up as he remembers something. Oh, right. Tiat Can holds up a business card. What exactly is this card you gave me? Ao Tin smiles. That's a containment certificate. Having it will make your containment missions a whole lot easier from now on. Tiat Can raises his eyebrows smugly. So, does this make me an official employee? Ao Tin snaps her fingers as if it goes without saying. Absolutely, Besides all the perks of being part of the official organization, the archives in this library are now fully open to you. I still have some work to take care of, so feel free to look around inside. Tiet Khan waves goodbye to her. Take care. He clenches his fist. Sweet. Maybe I can actually find some clues about the cattail ring. Tiet Khan walks over to a desk and chair. This place is truly a whole different world. The glowing panels above display numbered text. Tiet Khan grabs a random book. Heal 018. The Goddess of Death. Unconditional favor. An unprecedented divine relic. He swipes his card, but a notification chimes. Insufficient clearance. Access denied. He looks confused. Huh? He tries another one. What about this one? Heal 069. Cinderella boy? Since the number is so far back, surely I can read this one, right? The notification chimes again. Insufficient clearance. Access denied. He goes through the pile of books. Heal 227. Insufficient clearance. Access denied. Heal 580. Insufficient clearance. Access denied. Heal 666. Insufficient clearance. Access denied. Tiet Khan stops, leaning over to catch his breath. This is ridiculous. Didn't she say everything was open to me? Why do I still need security clearance? Don't tell me even the cattail ring requires clearance too. Whatever. I'll find it first and see what happens. Tiet Khan stops in front of a book labeled Heal 1391, Cattail Ring. He closes his eyes and clasps his hands in a silent prayer. Please work. The book opens. Heal 1391, Cattail Ring. File unlocked. A faint smile creeps onto Tiet Khan's face. It worked. A notification rings out. The danger level of this divine relic is B class, which does not match Class Containment Officer Tiet Khan. Only the first 2 file layers are unlocked. He frowns in disbelief. Isn't this thing only capable of turning people into a harmless little kitten? How could it be on the same level as a divine relic that can wipe out an entire street? Tiet Khan takes the book and sits back down at the desk. He flips it open. The wearer can freely transform between human and cat after wearing it for a month? He turns to a page. In a certain year, a doctor caught sight of the cattail ring, instantly flew into a wild frenzy, and founded a heretical cult. Confusion spreads across Tiet Khan's face. A heretical cult? He bows his head and keeps flipping pages. There must be more records about this cult. Following the death of the gods, massive fissures tore through the earth, and vast boundary zones rose up from the cracks. As they explored deeper into the fissures, they discovered tools capable of communicating with outer gods. Those who gathered out of a desperate thirst for power, begging these bizarre entities for strength, came to be known as the heretical cults. Those who received blessings from these outer gods were called the gifted. His eyes widen. So that's what being gifted actually means. Tiet Khan rapidly flips through the pages, lost in deep thought. 200 years ago, a cult known as the Holy Lion sect desperately tried to establish contact with the goddess Bastet, but the deity never answered. It wasn't until a devotee obtained Heal 1391 and turned into a cat that they finally received the goddess's blessing. However, the blessing wasn't bestowed upon the follower, but rather on Heal 1391, the cattail ring itself. Since then, the cattail ring has held an even more mysterious power. As the fusion deepens, the wearer begins to inherit the power of Bastet, eventually becoming the actual goddess. Because of this, the Holy Lion sect will stop at nothing to murder the ring's current owner and reclaim it. Tiet Khan's face darkens as he reads this, which means his expression falls. They're going to kill Hoan-Ni. The black cat crosses its paws, which is exactly why I brought you here to train and get stronger. Tiet Khan frowns. No wonder Hoan-Ni was so desperate to convince me to go to the dojo, if I can't grow stronger in a short amount of time. He recalls the image of the man in black. I'm afraid we'll both end up dead. Tiet Khan gasps as he flips to the next page. Heal 1391. Cattail Ring Fusion Requirements. The initial fusion requires an intense emotional trigger. To increase the fusion progress from now on, the wearer has to constantly trigger the exact same emotion. Shuijing closed his eyes, deep in thought, trying to spark a powerful emotion. He pictured giving the black cat a bath, suddenly remembering that she turned out to be a female cat. He shook his head violently. No, he couldn't think about that anymore. His imagination was getting way too vivid. If she really needs to do what they did last time to turn human, does that mean Huaner and I will have to do that all the time? Shuijing froze. How on earth was he supposed to explain this condition to Huaner? He placed his hand on a line of text, staring down in surprise. Huh? G1391. The cattail ring has absolutely no side effects. This divine relic only grants the wearer godlike strength and power, with zero side effects. The only thing to worry about is the Holy Church. Shui Jing let out a huge sigh of relief. Whew, that scared me to death. No side effects is fantastic news. Then, he blinked in confusion. Wait, that's it? What kind of power does Bastet actually have? How do I even take it off once it's on? Are these crucial questions really going to go unanswered? A Class C containment officer's clearance is just too low. Suddenly, the phone in Shu Jing's pocket buzzed with a new notification. He opened it. A payday notification? They pay this fast? Star City Bank welcomes you, Mr. Shui Jing. Your savings account ending in 316 has received 231,511.31 Zhuxia yuan. Your current balance is 235,212.25 yuan. He was stunned. Wait, this has to be the compensation Wu Yuqing sent. But why is it so much? A massive grin spread across Shui Jing's face. No more pinching pennies for every single meal. Now I can focus all my time on training and getting stronger. He turned around, determination burning in his eyes. Tonight, I'm going to buy some high-end ingredients and whip up a delicious feast for Huaner. I'll find the right moment to tell her about the condition for turning human later. 5 days later, at the dining table, the black cat was devouring her food. She looked up at Shui Jing and asked, "Why are you being so extravagant lately? Did you hit the jackpot?" He replied sheepishly, "Hey, even I deserve to live large once in a while." The black cat stared blankly. Huh? Shui Jing recalled his training sessions with Li Qi. He sighed. Lately, I've been learning a cultivation technique called the Dujia art from my master. The technique itself isn't anything special. He remembered how his veins had popped and his face had flushed beet red while soaking in the medicinal bath. It's just that I have to drink medicine during training and soak in a medicinal bath right after. Completing just one set costs a whopping 40,000 yuan. He crushed the food in his hand. I've completed 5 sets over the past few days, and before I knew it, 20 medicinal prescriptions completely wiped me out. The black cat stood up. Well, shouldn't you still have over 30,000 left? How is there so little left? Shui Jing covered his face with one hand, pointing at the mountain of food on the table with the other. The black cat covered her mouth and sighed. While your devotion to this cult leader is highly commendable, I must warn you, you need to budget your money. With a faint blush on her cheeks, she walked toward Shui Jing. Aside from the medicine you mentioned, you'll need to buy weapons and hidden projectiles in the future. Not to mention, formal wear for high-end venues is absolutely essential. A decent suit easily costs over 100,000 yuan. Shui Jing's lip twitched. That's insanely expensive. The black cat pointed at the food on the table. Fancy meals like this should be a once-a-month treat at most. Shui Jing's chopsticks froze in midair. I had no idea there were so many things to spend money on. Payday is still ages away, and there's no way Wu Yuqing can arrange a new gig for me anytime soon. He gripped his phone tightly. If he didn't find a way to make some quick cash, he'd be back to living on a shoestring budget. Scrolling through the posts on his phone, Shui Jing decided to text his senior brother, Fu Guang. Senior brother Chen Fu Guang, I'm a bit tight on cash lately. Do you know of any job openings? I can do security work or heavy lifting. He replied, You asked the right person. Let's meet at the Kanglong dojo tomorrow afternoon. I'll drop by to see how much progress you've made. Shui Jing glanced over at the black cat. Slapping the table in annoyance, he snapped, Hey, you've got to leave some for me. Cars zoomed past in the bustling city. Inside the Kanglong dojo, Shui Jing channeled his energy. His brow furrowed with determination as a golden light enveloped his body. Shui Jing swung his arm, and a system notification chimed. New skill unlocked, Soft Force, Level 1. Fu Guang leaned against a pillar with his arms crossed. This junior brother is really something else. It's only been 5 days, and he's already mastered the Dujia art to this level. Meng Meng spoke up shyly. Senior brother, we're actually conducting a strength test right now. Could you show everyone a few moves? Fu Guang walked over and threw an arm around Shui Jing's shoulder. Go ahead. What are you hesitating for? Fu Guang chuckled. Take this chance to test your training results and show everyone what you've got. Hearing this, Shui Jing stepped closer to Meng Meng. Warming up his limbs, he said, All right, I'll give it a shot. Zhao Rong and Ying Yu sneered. Our new junior brother just joined. You might not have full control over your strength yet, so don't push yourself too hard. Yeah, don't break your hand and then blame us for it. Meng Meng snapped back in annoyance. You two, shut up. My senior brother is actually amazing. Shui Jing fell into stance and threw a punch straight at the punching bag. Meng Meng looked at him in disbelief. Senior brother, why didn't you charge up your power? Zhao Rong's face turned red as he held back a laugh. Why was that punch so incredibly weak? Wait, did he really hold back? Was he just trying to save face by going easy? Suddenly, a sharp tear echoed, and the heavy punching bag split wide open. The fabric ripped completely, stitches burst, and stuffing exploded everywhere. The crowd stood frozen, staring at the ruined bag scattered across the floor. Tiet Khan just raised his hand, offering a gentle smile. Junior brother, this is called soft force. True power isn't about brute force. The technique I just used is called soft force. It's an advanced application of internal force. First, you concentrate all your energy into a single point, then channel it directly into the target's body. Then, it explodes from the inside. Feel free to try and grasp the concept, everyone. Man looked on with pure admiration, saying, Thank you for the lesson, senior brother. Tiet Khan looked over at Ung Nok and said, Junior brother, would you mind grabbing a strike pad from the storage room to wrap around the force meter? Hearing those words, the guy shuddered. Right away, Fu Kuang walked over and handed Tiet Khan a slip of paper. With a skill level like this, junior brother, I don't have to worry about you anymore. A VIP is looking for a bodyguard. The situation is a bit complicated though. Junior brother, do you want to give it a shot? He took the paper and looked at it closely. The address read, Thui Chao Hotel, number 617, Kim High Street, Dongthon District. The reward, 800,000 yuan. Tiet Khanhe's eyes instantly lit up. 800,000 yuan. He patted Fu Kuang on the shoulder, his eyes virtually turning into dollar signs. Say no more. This job is absolutely mine. Outside the Thui Chao Hotel, a car pulled up smoothly. Tiet Khan stepped out, exuding an effortless, imposing aura. As he walked into the hotel lobby, whispers immediately broke out. Who is that guy? Judging by his outfit, he looks like a martial artist. Is he from some elite family attending the banquet? Or maybe he was brought in for security. A martial arts master? But he's so young. Hearing this, he smirked to himself, looking down at his suit and thinking, just like my senior sisters said, people really do judge a book by its cover. Tiet Khan recalled Sun An's skeptical voice. Are you seriously going to wear that? At the time, he had casually replied, What's wrong with it? It's really comfortable. She immediately snapped back, saying, People judge you by what you wear, and looking too cheap would get him looked down on. Then, Sun An pulled out a bright, flashy red suit. But don't worry, your senior sister has got you covered. This suit is custom made by a famous designer. Staring at the vibrant red fabric, he winced. But this is way too flashy. I'm going to a job, not a blind date. Suddenly, a finger gently tapped his shoulder from behind. Thon Q stood there, presenting an elegant, sleek black suit. Seeing this, Sun An gasped in outrage. Hey! That's cheating, senior sister. I was clearly here first. Back in the present, Tiet Khan smiled to himself. When it comes to taste, senior sister Man is definitely a cut above the rest. Suddenly, he caught a girl's whisper nearby. Wow, he is so handsome. The girl next to her giggled. Should we go ask for his number? Nearby, Chu Toan spoke up. Is that kid really the star disciple of the Tanglong dojo? No way. I've met all 6 of Tanglong's personal disciples, even the youngest girl. I've never seen that brat in my life. Dao Kiet, standing beside him, chuckled. What, they aren't allowed to take in a new disciple? Come on, Chuton, that's not what I meant. The Dragon King, lie. That declared long ago that he would take on 7 disciples. But he insisted the 7th must be an absolute prodigy with peerless talent and potential. Otherwise, he'd rather not take anyone at all. And look at that kid, he's just a pretty boy. How strong could he possibly be? There's no way he's lie. That's elite disciple. Dao Kiet patted his shoulder, warning him, hey, don't judge a book by its cover. Look closely. His footsteps are incredibly steady. Every single stride is perfectly measured, and his upper body doesn't sway even a fraction of an inch. That shows insane body control. His internal force distribution is already mastered. Chu Tone scoffed. So what? Even if he can stretch 1% of his energy to deliver 100% impact, what's he going to do against 100 opponents? He'll still get crushed. Realizing he couldn't get through to him, Dao Qiat walked off in frustration. Honestly, I'm completely speechless with you. Meanwhile, the receptionist approached Tiet Kan and asked, "Excuse me, are you the martial arts expert in charge of security?" Tiet Kan offered a friendly smile. "Tiet Kan, from the Tanglong Dojo. Nice to meet you." The receptionist pointed to a map. "Likewise. Let me give you a quick rundown of your duties. For this event, we've hired 6 martial arts masters, and each will be assigned to a specific sector. Mr. Tiet Kan, your assigned post is the stage area. The lighting over there is a bit dim, so we'll need you to be extra vigilant." Rolling up the map, Tiet Kan smiled and asked, "Don't worry, I've got it covered. Besides, with so many high-level martial artists gathered here, I highly doubt anyone would be foolish enough to cause trouble, right?" The receptionist replied, "We can't be too sure about that. Better safe than sorry. I won't take up any more of your time. I must get back to work now." As the receptionist walked away, Tiet Kan fell deep into thought. Hiring extra security is one thing, but bringing in 6 elite martial arts masters? That's a massive overkill. And that's not all. They also hired a massive wave of bodyguards. Judging by their gear, they're elite professionals. Even the surveillance setup is insane. It's way beyond what any standard hotel would ever need. When things are this abnormal, something is definitely off. Just what kind of threat are we dealing with to warrant a defense this heavy? Right then, Chu Toen walked up to him and asked, "Are you the new personal disciple that the Tanglong Dojo just took in?" Tiet Kan turned around, curious. "And you are?" Chu Toen introduced himself with an air of pride. "Li Chu Toen, from the Ho Fap Dojo. Don't worry, I'm not here to start any trouble with you. But as fellow disciples, scoping out each other's strength beforehand shouldn't be too much to ask, right?" Shui Jing asked coldly. "So, how do you want to do this?" Zhao Quan rolled up his sleeves, showing off his muscles, and said, "Let's cross hands." Shui Jing quickly agreed. Sure, this crossing hands is a standard way for martial artists to test each other's power. Shui Jing quietly figured that this guy probably didn't believe in his strength because of how young he looked. But that's fine. It's a good chance for me to see how strong I really am. Yu Guang happened to walk by and asked in surprise, "Brother Jing, why is he here?" Beside him, Meng Ke asked curiously, "Second young Master Pei, do you actually know that handsome young man? Who do you think is going to win?" He stammered, "Well, I." Suddenly, Pei Wu stepped out and said, "My money is on the kid." Meng Ke gasped, "It's young Master Pei, Yu Guang's older brother." She then giggled and said, "But Li Zhaoquan is seriously tough, you know. The last time the second young master crossed hands with him, he got twisted up so bad he was screaming in pain." Yu Guang said, totally embarrassed, "Hey, stop rubbing salt in the wound." Suddenly, a girl chimed in, "Look, that handsome guy isn't even budging. Is he about to lose?" Hearing that, Shui Jing smiled and said, "It's not that nothing is happening. Ordinary people just can't see it." Pei Wu analyzed. "That kid's body might look lean, but it has actually been tempered hundreds of times. It's already as hard as steel. His energy is pure and refined, light years ahead of anyone like Li Zhaoquan. Yu Guang, when this is over, make sure to introduce me to this young genius." Yu Guang quickly replied, "Understood." But inside, he was reeling. It hasn't even been that long. How has Brother Jing gotten this insanely strong? Is this even real? With a smug look on his face, Zhao Quan thought, "This kid doesn't have a single drop of energy. Just as I thought, he's a total scrub." He sneered, "Kid, you might as well pack your bags and run along home now." As they locked hands, Xu Jing evaluated his opponent. His grip is pretty solid. He's clearly put in some serious training. Then, a smirk played in his mind. Too bad he's still a step below me. Suddenly, Zhao Quan's face went pale, a wave of sheer panic washing over him. What's happening? How did his power suddenly shoot up like this? His arm shook violently as Zhao Quan panicked. Oh crap, I can't hold him off. He funneled every ounce of his strength into his arm, gritting his teeth as his entire body began to shake. Suddenly, a sharp crack echoed from Zhao Quan's hand. Shui Jing froze, thinking, "Oh no! Did I just snap his bone?" He asked awkwardly, Are you all right?" Zhao Quan quickly pulled his hand back, laughing it off. "Of course I am. But damn, kid, you're not half bad. You really are a star disciple of the Hidden Dragon Dojo. Respect. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to use the restroom. Let's grab a drink sometime, brother." Once he was out of sight, Zhao Quan slipped into a quiet corner, clutched his hand, and screamed in agony, Holy crap, that hurts like hell. Slumping to the ground, he whimpered, that kid is a freaking monster. Shui Jing walked away, still feeling uneasy. Is he really okay? That was definitely the sound of a bone snapping, right? Suddenly, a voice called out from behind. Brother Jing. Curious, he turned around. Yu Guang waved his hand. Brother Jing, long time no see. Shui Jing thought, Pei Yu Guang? The two of them then headed toward the stage area, chatting along the way. So you really are a young master, Yu Guang, and here I thought you were just blowing smoke. Yu Guang scratched his head in embarrassment. You're teasing me, Brother Jing. Honestly, I'm just an illegitimate son. If my big brother didn't look out for me, I wouldn't be living this comfortably. Shui Jing got straight to the point. So, what did you need from me? Yu Guang stammered. Oh, right. Well, your clash with Li Jiaoquan just now was incredible. My big brother wants to meet you. He's a beast too, a total genius who passed the martial exam and got into Inner Ring University. Seeing Pei Wu standing on the stage, Shui Jing asked, Is that him? Yu Guang immediately nodded. Yeah, and there are also a few rich young ladies and wealthy madams who want to get to know you. Let me know if you have some free time, okay? He let out a sigh and said, Today is a no-go. I've got work to do right after this. Besides, if they're just curious about me, that's fine. But if they actually want to be my friends, tell them to come find me themselves. If you want something in this life, you have to take it yourself, not just sit around waiting for someone to hand it to you. Shui Jing walked away, waving over his shoulder. I've got things to do, so I'm heading out. Yu Guang stared in awe, thinking, Brother Shui is just too cool. As Shui Jing walked, a crowd suddenly rushed over, chanting, That handsome kid is absolutely right. If you want something, you have to take it yourself. Qing Tao shyly held out her phone. Hey handsome, can we exchange contacts? The crowd behind her swarmed in, shouting, me too, come on, you won't regret it. Suddenly, he noticed someone pulling a cart of gear nearby. Shui Jing thought to himself, the manager never mentioned anyone bringing stuff in. He started to turn away, but Li Yue grabbed him. Come on, add me, I have so much to tell you. Shui Jing sighed helplessly. Fine, you win. What's your number? She smirked. Now that's more like it. The crowd behind them wailed, We want it too. Meanwhile, a mysterious hand pressed a strange red button, and a warning light suddenly flared a dangerous crimson. Shui Jing picked up his phone, frowning in suspicion. Is my phone leaking electricity? He instinctively scanned his surroundings, a chilling feeling creeping up on him that something was terribly wrong. Suddenly, everything around went pitch black. Panic erupted instantly. The power's out. Hold on, let me turn on my phone. What's going on? My phone won't turn on either. Seriously? None of the phones are working? Did the batteries die? No way, Tiet Khan thought to himself. I'm absolutely sure my phone was fully charged. Besides, in a pitch-black room with dozens of people, not a single person has their phone out for light. It's obvious that everyone's phones are completely dead. Combined with the total blackout, every single electrical device must have fried. An electromagnetic pulse is a high-tech method, capable of frying electronic devices in the blink of an eye. But why would the enemy go to such lengths? If they just wanted to eliminate one target, wouldn't this be massive overkill? Suddenly, all the windows shattered at once. Liang Guyet shrieked in terror, clinging tightly to Tiet Khan. He knew right then that something was seriously wrong. In the banquet hall, the crowd was buzzing. What was that sound? Did a glass break? Don't scare yourself. It's probably just the wind. Or maybe someone dropped something. Is anyone's phone working? They're completely dead. Wait, where's old Vuong? He was standing right next to me just a second ago. One of the bodyguards flicked on a lighter to scan the room. Buino clapped his hands to get everyone's attention. Listen up. Something is seriously wrong here. Don't wander around. Stand back to back and huddle up. Another voice chimed in. Everyone, do what young Master Bui says. Suddenly, a strange sound echoed. Someone cried out in fear, There's something over there. In an instant, a man standing nearby was violently dragged backward into the darkness. Someone else screamed, What's happening? President Truong is gone. Suddenly, a fresh pool of blood splattered across the floor. Someone shrieked, Oh my God, it's blood. The entire crowd immediately descended into pure chaos, scattering in all directions. Buino shouted at the top of his lungs, It's dangerous. Stop running around. Just then, something rushed past his face, leaving a bloody gash on his cheek. Suddenly, he felt something shifting right in front of him. Sensing the threat, Buino timed it perfectly and threw a powerful punch. Whatever it was got slammed hard into the wall. I hit it, he thought. Suddenly, a dark shadow lunged directly at him. Seeing that Buingo couldn't react in time, Hu Kuang leaped forward, shoving him out of the way and screaming, "Bro, thank God we're okay, but the guy behind us didn't make it. He just got ripped in half." Buino froze in horror. A bizarre, pitch-black figure was flickering in and out of the shadows. Overcome with dread, Buino screamed, "Run!" Someone shrieked, "It's too late!" Buino cursed in panic as a dark shadow bolted straight toward the group. Suddenly, Tiet Khan intervened, launching a fierce kick that sent the creature slamming into the wall, causing a massive crash. He asked anxiously, "What the hell is that thing?" The monster was thrown violently against the wall, coughing up mouthfuls of fresh blood in agonizing pain. Tiet Khan thought, "This thing again. Looks like all my hard training has paid off, or I wouldn't have been able to blow it away so easily." Everyone gasped in awe. Incredible! With just a single kick, he pinned that monster straight to the wall. Where are the martial arts masters and bodyguards from the other dojos? They ran for their lives. Someone approached, "Brother Khan, thank you for saving me and my boss." Tiet Khan raised his hand to stop him. "Stay back, that thing isn't dead yet." The monster dug its claws into the wall and launched itself forward with explosive speed. He quickly dodged. Its life force is even stronger than the last one. Has it evolved? I'll give it a shot, but if I can't beat it, I'm out of here. A paycheck isn't worth throwing my life away. Tiet Khan unleashed his close-range strike, slamming his elbow hard into the back of the monster's neck. The brutal impact sent the beast flying. Tiet Khan's eyes flared with a sharp, glowing light as he charged forward. "You're not the only one who can move freely in the dark." After landing that blow, his vision suddenly cleared up completely. He had activated Shadow Flame, Dark Vision. Who would have thought this skill had a night vision effect? The skill screen didn't mention this at all. Otherwise, I would have used it way sooner. Tiet Khan leaped through the open spaces of the room with incredible agility. Triotone was dumbfounded. Tiet Khan is actually going toe-to-toe with that monster. Buino shook his head. No, on the surface, it might look like that. But if you look closely, even though he's dodging by a hair, he hasn't taken a single step back this entire time. He's protecting us. Triotone pointed toward the emergency exit. Let's go. Staying here will only distract him. Everyone agreed. You're right. We can also call the police and get help. Seeing that everyone had evacuated, Tiet Khan thought, finally, I can go all out. He gestured with his hand. You guys seemed to be having a blast earlier. Now, let me join the fun. The monster's eyes flared as it slowly stood up, then shot toward Tiet Khan like a bullet. It slashed him across the chest. This beast actually had a trump card. Its speed had increased dramatically. It flapped its wings faster and faster. The monster glared, its blood-red eyes glowing intensely. Tiet Khan realized his surroundings had suddenly changed. What's going on? As Shui Jing fell through the endless void, fragments of his past began flashing before his eyes. Is my life flashing before my eyes? Am I really dead? Did I actually just die at the hands of a pathetic snake like that? No way. I spent a fortune learning martial arts. How could I lose to a piece of garbage like this? Something must have gone wrong. Suddenly, a massive, glowing hand caught him. As Shui Jing landed in the giant palm, he gasped in shock. Standing right before him was a dragon, its body crackling with lightning. Somehow, this dragon felt strangely familiar. All of a sudden, the monster lunged forward, throwing a brutal punch right into Shui Jing's stomach. As if witnessing something unbelievable, the beast's pupils shrunk in sheer terror. A golden orb wrapped in crackling lightning materialized from his body. Shui Jing snapped his eyes open, a fiery determination burning within them. He unleashed the hidden dragon style's ultimate move, sending electric sparks surging through his entire body. An eye for an eye, that's only fair, right? Using the wind cloud tail technique, Shui Jing manifested a giant dragon claw and crushed the monster's head into oblivion. Blood sprayed everywhere as its head exploded into tiny fragments, scattering across the floor. The beast's massive body lost its balance and collapsed with a heavy thud. Shui Jing stared at his hands. It felt like he had just unlocked some seriously insane power. Hearing a noise on the floor, he noticed its headless corpse was still squirming. How is this thing not dead yet? Well, I guess even if it mutated, its core nature is still a snake. Even without a head, snakes can survive for 8 or 9 days. Shui Jing slammed his fist deep into its body. A snake's real weakness is actually the nerve ganglion located right below its esophagus. Reaching inside, He pulled out a long, stringy organ. Found it. Is a normal snake's ganglion supposed to be this huge? Slowly, the people hiding under the tables began crawling out. Is it finally over? It's dead. Everyone erupted in joy. He actually killed that monster. Which martial arts dojo is he from? I want to sponsor him $1 million. No, make that 2 million. Second young master pay. Hurry up and introduce us to him. Dao Ji patted Zhao Quan on the shoulder. Old Zhao, I've got to hand it to you. You've got some serious nerve picking a fight with someone like that. He forced a bitter laugh. Stop messing with me. When that kid fought me earlier, he probably didn't even use 1% of his power. I'm just lucky he showed some mercy and didn't cripple me on the spot. Shui Jing stood up and warned the crowd. Everyone, use this chance to get out of here now. I have a bad feeling about this. This is definitely not over yet. Someone cried out in worry. Mr. Lin, you're hurt. Qinglin suddenly stepped forward and asked, Young man, what do you mean by that? Shui Jing turned to look at him. And you are? The man held out a business card. I'm the host of this banquet, Ye Qinglin. Are you suggesting this whole incident wasn't an accident? He took the business card. Yeah. Based on what I saw, this wasn't just a regular blackout. It was an electromagnetic pulse, and there's a high chance it was man-made. That monster was likely released on purpose too. Whoever did this probably wanted to wipe everyone in this room out. Qinglin clenched his fists. This has to be a planned, highly coordinated assassination targeted right at us. I'll make sure my father gets to the bottom of this. Shui Jing thought to himself. You set up so many security cameras, invited all these martial artists, and hosted this event here even though you knew something bad would happen. Aren't you the shady one here? The guests invited to this banquet are no ordinary people. Why would anyone want to slaughter them all? And this Yi Qinglin guy is definitely hiding something. He turned to the crowd. Even though the monster is dead, we're still not out of the woods yet. It's best if we get out of here as quickly as possible. The survivors immediately began to make their exit. Watch your step. Don't push. If anyone has a lighter, light it up so we can see. Qinglin leaned in and whispered in Shui Jing's ear, Tell me, young man, do you happen to know what that monster really was? He replied, I'm just a bodyguard. My only job is to do my best to keep everyone safe. I don't know anything else. He thought to himself, testing the waters already? Looks like the water here runs much deeper than I thought. The lobby was in absolute chaos. Hurry up and call our families to pick us up. I just want to go home. I am not staying in this hotel for another second. Shui Jing sat down and checked his system interface. You have survived a fierce battle to the death. Your physical potential has been unlocked. Body tempering experience points plus 1027. He smiled, satisfied. This was a pretty good haul. You have survived a fierce battle to the death and tasted the sweet flavor of victory. Mood, extremely relaxed. Health preservation experience points plus 829. New insights unlocked for this discipline. Running experience points plus 538. Charm experience points plus 551. Aiming experience points plus 518. Combat experience points plus 1,539. Force channeling experience points plus 1,347. Visualization experience points plus 1,211. Body tempering leveled up to level 7. Health preservation leveled up to level 5. Running leveled up to level 6. Combat leveled up to level 6. Visualization leveled up to level 4. Shui Jing grinned. 4-digit experience points and the requirements for specialization have been met. Suddenly, the wound on his chest completely healed itself. Shui Jing was stunned. The wound was completely gone. He stood up and stretched his body. What on earth is this? Leveled up, and his status was fully recovered. The system notification popped up. Conditions met. Would you like to convert basic force channeling into specialized force channeling? Specialize now? He stared intently at the screen. Is the condition really that wind cloud tail technique I just mastered? Does this special energy flow have anything to do with the martial arts of the hidden dragon style? No matter how you look at it, this special energy flow is way more powerful than the basic one, right? He clicked accept. Successfully specialized level 6 energy flow. Total experience points. 6,880, converted to level 4 hidden dragon life force. Tiet Khan froze. This feeling was like a rusty gear finally getting greased. The energy flowed through his body with unprecedented smoothness. He slowly sat down. This was a rare opportunity, so he decided to strike while the iron was hot and practice the head horn technique one more time. The nurse rushed over. Where's the injured person? Buingo pointed behind him. the banquet hall on the 17th floor. He froze, his jaw dropping, completely speechless. Tiat Khan's body was enveloped in the shape of a golden dragon. A moment later at the dojo, Sunan was applying medicine to Tiat Khan. He smiled. "Thanks, senior sister, for personally applying the medicine for me." She looked at him. "Seriously, how did this happen? It was supposed to be a normal security job, yet that kind of monster popped out. Junior brother, you're so unlucky." Lie, that walked over. "Our dojo's commissions are naturally dangerous. Accidents are bound to happen." Tiat Khan looked up. "Master, you're widely traveled and knowledgeable. Do you know where that monster came from?" He turned serious. "I don't know the exact details, but I only know that thing is highly likely connected to the boundary." He thought to himself, the boundary is the rift that naturally formed after the death of a god, as mentioned in the records. What on earth is inside that rift? Lie, that waved his hand. "Don't overthink it. Just surviving is a huge blessing. Besides, you've turned a disaster into a blessing by comprehending our hidden dragon style's ultimate move, the wind cloud tail. For a martial artist, life and death training is indeed the best teacher." Tiat Khan looked at him. "Master, that's not all, I think. I've grasped the true essence of the hidden dragon style." Hearing this, Lie, that bolted upright from his wheelchair and stumbled toward him. He carefully felt Tiat Khan's arm, then suddenly tumbled backward. "Little Khan, you've raised a dragon." He scratched his head. "Huh?" Sun An was also bewildered. "What kind of riddle are you guys speaking in?" Lie, that laughed with pure joy. "Haha, to harbor a true dragon that sweeps the skies, one must first nourish a young dragon within the body. Your junior brother has raised a dragon inside him." Tiat Khan went over to help him up. "Master, ever since this dragon appeared, I've only felt my energy flow much more smoothly. Are there other benefits?" He looked at him. "This dragon is not just some illusory concept. It is a strand of dragon force that possesses its own spiritual nature. This way, practicing martial arts is no longer just training. It's nurturing a dragon inside your own body. This is the true essence of our hidden dragon style. Little Khan, you have obtained the key to breaking the limit." Tiat Khan was puzzled. The key to breaking the limit? Sun An helped him sit back down in his wheelchair. "Master, what does breaking the limit even mean?" Lie, that explained. "The human body has its limits. Once your skin, flesh, tendons, bones, and blood are all trained to absolute perfection, you cannot advance any further. At that point, you must break the limit, which means elevating your life's state of existence and reconstructing your body from its most basic components. Though you still look human on the outside, the very essence of your life is no longer human. Those who successfully elevate their state of existence are called earthly immortals by Taoists and living Buddhas by Buddhists. Barring any accidents, they can live to be at least 150 years old, and they will maintain their peak physical condition right until the moment they die." Tiat Khan thought to himself, "It seems Master's legs were that very accident." Then Lie, that continued. "Little Khan, don't worry. You've already taken the most crucial step. The risk of failure has been minimized. The rest is just a matter of grinding and honing your skills." He turned serious. "I understand. Thank you, Master." Sun An sat down. "But Master, I heard senior brother say you were once a powerhouse who crossed the Dragon Gate. So, how did you end up like this?" Lie, that's eyes turned razor sharp. "Because the dragon I nurtured was killed by someone. The two of them were stunned." He continued, "Back then, I lived in the North City District. I thought my martial strength was unmatched, and I acted way too arrogant, completely ignorant of how vast the world really is. Every day, Man, Bok, Thuong, and I would challenge others to duels, offending quite a few people in the process. Since those enemies couldn't defeat me, they targeted Man Bok Thuong's wife and child instead. At the time, anger completely blinded me, and all I wanted was revenge. Countless people came to stop me, but I didn't care. I killed them one by one as they came. For a brief moment, I had the illusion that I was invincible under the heavens, but before long, retribution finally caught up with me. I was sliced through the legs by a powerful master, who killed the true dragon in my heart. With my spirit shattered, this old man became a half-crippled shell. At that time, countless people tried to kick me while I was down, and only Man Bok Thuong was still willing to stand by me. Later, to escape our enemies and protect Than Zhao, we left the North City District just like that, and eventually came here to open the Hidden Dragon Dojo." Tiat Khan turned serious. "Master, don't you want revenge?" Lie, that sighed. "If you're asking if I want revenge, of course I do. But this old man's enemies are all major players in the North City District. not some small fry around here. Even dealing with one of them would be incredibly difficult, let alone a whole crowd of them. Anyway, you don't need to worry about this. It's all old history from years ago. If there comes a day when you can rightfully enter the inner circle, it won't be too late to bring this up. By this time, the sky outside had grown dark. As Tayat Khan walked up the stairs, his phone suddenly buzzed. Astral Bank here. Dear Mr. Tayat Khan, hello. Sir, has the 8 million yuan been credited to your bank card ending in 316 yet? Your current balance is 8,801,103 yuan. That was fast. That hotel really knows how to get things done. He opened the door and stepped inside. Huan I'm back, Shui Jing called out. But the room was dead silent. Huan wasn't home. Surely she's not taking a bath again, right? He frowned. Activating his mind's eye, he saw a lingering projection of her from earlier. She was bouncing all over the place, having a blast. Then, she climbed out the window. Looks like she wanted to go outside. Shui Jing rushed to the window and scanned the area. Far down the road, 2 male figures emerged from the shadows, cornering Huan Shui Jing gritted his teeth. This is bad. Huan is in danger. Huan bared her claws and hissed, "Didn't you bastards run away already? What did you come back for?" The towering image of Ananta Shesha, the infinite dragon, materialized. Gonglong quickly explained, "Because His Eminence, the infinite dragon, has answered us." Her eyes widened in sheer shock. He slowly took a step closer to Huan "Sovereign, your talent is unparalleled. You will definitely become the chosen vessel. When that time comes, we can leverage the main sect's power to rebuild." Suddenly, a hand reached out, cutting Gonglong off. "Can't you see she's not interested?" she gasped when she saw Shui Jing. "Shui Jing, what are you doing here?" He stepped up to Huan and said, "I should be asking you the same thing. Based on their conversation, these guys are your followers, right?" He showed no fear, his eyes flashing a menacing red. "Sovereign, aren't you worried that the Kangdae security company will find out about this kid's existence?" Fear gripped her as his words sank in, but Shui Jing didn't give a damn about Kangdae security. He casually took a step forward. "I can't just let a threat like that slide." Panicked, Gonglong waved his hands defensively. "What I meant is, if the Sovereign keeps staying at this kid's place and Kangdae catches wind of it, he'll definitely be dragged into this." She hesitated, looking conflicted. Watching Huan stammer, Shui Jing thought, does she actually want to leave? But that Kangdae security company was indeed a force to be reckoned with. After the gods fell, the world briefly plunged into absolute chaos. The government couldn't maintain order, so they outsourced law enforcement to private security firms, allowing them to organize and rapidly build up their own armed forces. Kangdae Security was one of those very companies. Unlike the others, they grew at an astronomical rate, quickly morphing into an unstoppable behemoth with deep, unshakable roots. Now, they were completely out of control. Having Ningfeng Huan hide here as a cat was low-key enough, but now that the dragon sect had tracked her down, the risk of her getting exposed had skyrocketed. Shui Jing turned to look at her. But even if Kangdae Security actually came knocking, he wouldn't back down. His sudden voice startled Gonglong. "She's not going back with you." Huan eyes lit up with joy. Hearing this, Gonglong stomped his foot in anger. "Kid, you really think you can protect the Sovereign?" Shui Jing looked up, totally unfazed. "We won't know until we try." Gonglong glared, pointing a finger at him. "You have no idea what Kangdae Security is capable of. A single squad from them would wipe out a nobody like you." Suddenly, she snapped, cutting him off. "Enough. If you guys hadn't shown up, there wouldn't even be a problem. I never wanted to be the sovereign of some dragon sect anyway. It was all that old geezer's idea. He unilaterally made me his successor, and now you want me to receive some blessing? If you want it so badly, go get it yourselves. Leave me out of this." Huan panted heavily, leaving the others completely stunned. She turned around, a bit flustered, and added, "Besides, no matter what happens, Shu Jing will protect me, right?" Shu Jing gave her a warm, gentle smile. "Yeah." Together, he and Huan walked away. Gonglong could only scowl in frustration, unable to do a thing. Meanwhile, in another location, a voice echoed, "Number 1 was beaten to death by a 17-year-old high schooler." The master gripped the phone tightly, continuing, "Even when Chengshuan was 17, he would have struggled to beat number 1. To think the provincial capital holds a genius even greater than Chengshuan." Kai Ping smirked, raising an eyebrow. "That's different. Our little senior brother had barely started training at 17. This kid, on the other hand, was probably secretly trained by the Hidden Dragon Dojo for years before making his explosive debut. Unbothered, he turned and walked away, tossing the phone over to him. It doesn't matter. Even if it didn't go perfectly as planned, at least we got a few casualties. Consider it a wake-up call for the ruling council. Kai Ping caught the phone, startled. The master's eyes suddenly glowed crimson, his voice dropping to a low, chilling growl. How is number 9 doing? He quickly straightened his posture to report, it devoured number 7 last night. It's only been 10 days since it was born, but its growth rate is absolutely insane. He smiled, looking thoroughly pleased. It seems number 9 is our most competitive, perfect specimen yet. From now on, all future cultivation and production will use number 9 as the baseline. Also, find a time to let number 9 stretch its legs outside. By the way, that high schooler is from the provincial affiliated high, right? That is the best high school in the provincial capital. If something happens there, it will definitely cause support for that bill to skyrocket. Kai Ping felt a shiver of fear, quickly bowing his head as he replied, Yes, sir. Outside the city, the morning sun illuminated the landscape. Inside the training room, Xuejing was pouring his soul into his martial arts practice, knowing that if he kept pushing his limits, there would come a day when his strength could solve any problem. And even if his strength could not solve the problem, it would definitely be enough to solve the person who created it. Focusing his mind, he channeled his visualization and threw a devastating punch forward. No matter what kind of attack came his way, he would crush it all with a single strike. The system panel flashed in front of his eyes. You have completed 1 training session of the Flood Dragon Combat Art. Body Tempering Experience Points plus 33. You have completed 1 training session of the Flood Dragon Combat Art. Hidden Dragon Force Experience Points plus 367. Visualization activated. Training efficiency has been greatly boosted. Xuejing panted heavily, staring down at his own fist. So this is the Flood Dragon Starfire, one of the 5 ultimate killer moves of the Hidden Dragon style. It is a pure, guard-breaking technique that injects active force directly into the enemy's body. No matter how ironclad or indestructible the opponent's body is, this move will tear right through it. I need to master this. From outside the door, Fu Guang peeked his head in and yelled in excitement, Little junior brother, you just hit the jackpot. Hearing the shout, Xuejing turned around and asked, Wait, what? Fu Guang rushed over and threw his arms around Xuejing's shoulders. Didn't you kill that monster at the Ruizhou Hotel yesterday and rescue all those spoiled rich kids? Xuejing blinked, still a bit dazed. Yeah, why? Fu Guang eagerly shoved his phone screen right in front of Xuejing's face. Today, our Hidden Dragon Dojo received a mountain of donations, and they are all from those wealthy heirs. Master said, this money is your reward, so it is all going straight into your bank account. It is a grand total of 22 million. Xuejing's eyes instantly lit up as wild fantasies began racing through his mind. Damn, I guess those rich and powerful folks really know how to show their appreciation, huh? Fu Guang slid a notebook over to Xuejing and continued. Master said that now that you are loaded, you do not have to train on a tight, pathetic budget anymore. This is the training regimen he custom-made for you. Xuejing opened the notebook, only to find a massive, never-ending list that filled the entire page. Daily. Complete Grand Tonic Pill times 1. Kidney. Nourishing Soup times 1, plus several other supplements. Grand total. 280,000 per day. Xuejing let out a chuckle and shrugged. Honestly, that is not even that much. I have got 20 million now. This is a piece of cake. Fu Guang flashed a pitying smile and raised an eyebrow. Oh, really? Why don't you flip the page and keep reading? He followed the advice and flipped the page. Instantly, Xuejing's jaw hit the floor. Weekly. Qi, Gathering Heart, Nourishing Pill times 1, 800,000. Type B, Medicated Herbal Steam Baths times 2, 1,230,000. The more he read, the harder his body started to shake, cold sweat pouring down his face like a river. Every 2 weeks. Tendon, Stretching Massage, 1,800,000. Monthly. Training in the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, once, 2 million. Xuejing opened his mouth to say something, but Fu Guang quickly cut him off. Yep, get ready to kiss your 20 million goodbye. Xuejing could only sigh in defeat, realizing that martial arts truly was a rich man's game. But then, Fu Guang suddenly thrust his phone forward once more. And that is not all, little junior brother. Take a look at this. On the screen, a news headline popped up. 17-year-old high school student slays monster with bare hands. Our province's very own martial arts genius. Fu Guang waited for him to finish reading before speaking up. Someone leaked the story of you killing that monster to the press. Little junior brother, you are officially a local hero in the provincial capital now. Just then, the phone in Shui Jing's hand began to vibrate. Fu Guang leaned in close to get a look. Who's calling? The screen displayed an unknown number. Staring at it, Xu Jing replied, "No idea." He swiped to answer and held the phone to his ear. "Hello?" The voice on the other end spoke, and within seconds, all the color completely drained from Shui Jing's face.